I want to begin in the obvious place. Issuing an apology, but also demanding one. I apologize to the audience for being too emotional yesterday to give you my most complete thoughts on the corrupt and tragic ruination of the single best program in television history, 60 Minutes. I'm sorry. My heartbreak is real and it impacted my professionalism, but I was wounded like a rat cornered in a cage, and I had to chew my way out, rattled by what happened earlier in the day on the Dan Le Batard Show. So, I demand an on-air apology from Mike Ryan and that meathead Tony, who doesn't know his ass from his elbow, for laughing at the idea that I might have some expertise and critically discerning analysis on the blasphemy presented befalling the most journalistically excellent program in the history of American television. Shame on them. And may that shame be eternal. All right, everybody calm down. Now that I've gathered myself, after a day of isolation to heal, I'd like to revisit why 60 Minutes has always meant so much to me, to my parents, to my children, and every generation of Zaslow, even though we've gone 100 years without producing a female who has had access to electronic information. My late grandmother used to tell us Zaslow kids about remembering where she was when Mike Wallace and Harry Reasoner premiered the program on September 24th, 1968. At least in part because she was having sex with my grandfather at the time, and the excellence of the show immediately distracted her from her vigorous lovemaking. She was alive at the time. I don't know when the magic moment was for me exactly. Maybe it was the story about Hitler's secret archive in December of 2006. Or could have been the chilling events surrounding the deadly 1970 Pioneer Hotel fire in Tucson, Arizona. Or Scott Pelley's report from Newton, Iowa, where the closing of an appliance factory caused a negative effect on the community's economy. But somewhere along the line, I actually fell in love with a news program and was bathed in the illumination that TV had never made anything better. Sure, some people remember the big tobacco whistleblower story, or the WikiLeaks stuff, or the report on the process of trying to accuse terrorists in Guantanamo Bay. Those helped my favorite program win over 120 Emmys. Yeah, how many of your favorite program win? But the reason Steve Croft has been a bit of a life guide for me over the years is because of all the adventures and learning I've done with this program. It's like traveling the world while sitting on the Zaslow Mansion family room couch in my underwear. I need a new couch. This one's not comfortable. How else would I know about the advancement in bionic limbs, the impact of goat farms on developing nations, or how the liquidation business profits from natural disasters and tragedies? Don't even get me started on the phenomenon of false confessions or that interview with Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. No one but 60 Minutes takes the time to examine the 40 million errors in the U.S. credit reporting system. No one but 60 Minutes has ever taken me behind the scenes at the New York Ballet. Oh, and the curmudgeonly whimsy of Andy Rooney. Be still, my heart. Expecting that apology from Mike and Tony tomorrow. Embargo back on.
Basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. Time for our favorite winter sport. The summertime is over, so let's head down to the court. Time for the tip-ball. Give me fast breaks on the attack. Will you shoot a three or take it to the rack? Basketball is back, Jack. It's a dream shake down in the post, or a killer cross you love the most. When the offense tries to run and gun, is it man-to-man or box and one? It's big plays and talking smack. That's how you know that basketball is back, Jack. Let me hear you say basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. 360 dunks and pick and rolls. And we're gonna watch it every day till they raise the Larry O. Hard fouls and hook shots. A dagger three and hack a shack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say's a gag. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back. Basketball is back, Jack. To join the Black Parade.
Okay, look at everyone here. It is everybody give it up for Friday. It's a Friday show. How you load it? There you go. We got the whole crew here. Roy and Jeremy and Chris and Mike Ryan and Tony. Look at Dave Damashek still on the East Coast. Hello, Dave Damashek. Dave Damashek has to unmute himself. Hello, Dave Damashek.
Tough league.
I'm not muted. That's not on me. That's on Miami. I'm ready to roll. Let's go. It's football season. Training camp is underway, and apparently we need it back there behind the glass.
All right, so we got a lot going on today. There's a lot happening. But first, there needs to be an update from yesterday. So I was challenged to see a couple movies. Everybody knows I'm a movie guy. I was challenged to see a couple movies. By the way, I'm going to see The Odyssey for a second time today. I'm very excited. Am I gonna like it as much a second time? I don't know. It's not that, Dave. It's I don't know that it's that common that you love a movie the second viewing as much as you did the first one, right? That's probably pretty uncommon, no?
I remember as a child, I went to see Return of the Jedi twice. I don't think I've ever gone back to the theater, at least within the first month, to see the same movie twice.
I can't remember the last time I saw a movie in the theater for a second time. So I'm going today. I'm taking my father. All right, little father-son bonding. All right, I'm taking my father. He has not seen The Odyssey. He would never see a movie in the theater 2 times. So I'm taking him for the first time. I'm very excited for that. But I was challenged yesterday by the show, and specifically Mike Ryan, to watch a couple of movies. Now, Dave, have you ever seen a movie called The Coffee Table?
Never even heard of it.
I had never heard of it either. Mike, do you want to give a quick synopsis to those out there also who have not heard of The Coffee Table?
Yeah, this couple that's been going through some things invite some family over for dinner.
Okay, that's a very short synopsis. He leaves out a major detail, but
They go shopping for a coffee table.
Yeah.
The family argues about the coffee table, and the guy's like, "Nah, I want this coffee table," and then they have dinner.
I can just tell by the look in Zaz's eye. He might not have seen all of it, but he watched some of it last night.
Okay. And the movie,
What genre would you call this, first of all?
Dramatic.
dark. Okay. The genre is dark, all right? Dark and disturbing is the genre. And it's subtitles, all right?
It's a foreign language film. It's high art. It's cinema.
Yeah, so you got to be able to read, all right? And I decided, okay, I got home yesterday afternoon. I'm like, I got a little bit of time here.
That's a solid 3 o'clock in the afternoon movie.
That's exactly what I did, okay? It was like 3 o'clock, and I decided, all right. And you know what I did? I was lying on the couch in the Zaslow Mansion living room, and I decided I'm just going to watch it on my phone. I pulled it up on my phone. I was just lying down. I'm like, let's just rock the phone viewing here. And so I pulled it up on my phone, and if I can tell you, I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't.
Why? What happened?
I couldn't get through it.
What happened?
The thing happened, and which you saw coming from a mile away.
You saw that thing coming.
Yes, of course you saw the thing coming.
You saw that thing coming from a mile
course.
away.
Our setup, I think, set you up for that. I don't
All
know
right, but still,
it's a pretty jarring thing that happens.
Yes, it's a very jarring and dark thing, disturbing thing that happens in the movie, like 25 minutes in. And this movie is slow as all hell.
Pacing.
And
it's a great film.
I can't tell if you're being serious.
No, I'm 100% being serious. In terms of like being able to draw something out of the viewer. I think the performances are great. I do think it's high art, no doubt.
I lasted about 35 minutes into the movie. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's too much for me.
Well, but there's a fallout.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the fallout.
Oh, the fallout, it leads to the best scenes.
Really?
They go through with the dinner party while the thing is there.
Do both of them know about the thing?
One of them knows about the thing.
Well, of course, one of them knows about
like
the thing.
the whole film is an exercise in tension building, and it's a dark comedy, I think. Because
I'd leave out the word after dark.
Should we do a spoiler alert and say it?
No, it's a dark
No,
comedy.
I mean, no, you shouldn't. This is a dreadful conversation. No one knows this movie that you two are talking about.
I was going to say, are we
in
selling it
depth.
for you, Dave? Did we sell
No,
it?
I
well,
can see where it's not.
You know what? Ironically, yes, you have. I am definitely now going to watch it to see what this big thing is in it. But also, I don't like that Zaslow. Listen, he's patronizing you, Mike, by saying, I'm going to watch this movie. But he watched it on his cell phone at 3 o'clock, much as we have system quarterbacks and system bands out there. We have system movies. This is not an appropriate place or time to consume a movie based on the in-depth details you two have provided each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he gave this a real shot.
Okay.
I'd like him to try again.
This is fair, what you're bringing up here, Dave, but I will add the reason that I decided to watch it on my phone while just lying down in the Zaslow Mansion living room couch is because I was ashamed. I was afraid of my wife seeing what I'm watching or my son seeing what I'm watching. I didn't want to have to explain why I'm watching, A, what the hell this movie is, and B, when whatever terrible thing happens, I didn't want to have to explain what I'm watching.
I'm a firm believer that this is a dark comedy because I think
It's a dark.
It is dark, but no, it's a comedy because at the heart of it, like the movie revolves around like what's scarier for the main male character, coming to grips with what happened or having to tell his wife. And that's the tug of war. The joke is it's a scarier proposition to have to tell his wife that this thing happened than the thing actually that happened.
No one knows what you're talking about. What are you talking?
Think about
thing?
the
You're
most-
talking about this obscuro foreign film. What are you talking
Think about the most horrific thing that can possibly happen to someone.
All right, that's enough
There's
of that.
a pretty
You saw
wide
that-
range of answers to that.
You lose a net.
Roy,
Carson
have you
Beck
seen
throws
this
an
movie?
interception on the final drive.
Roy, have you seen this movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? I think there's a big range of responses to that one.
No, there's a definitive answer. And
There is.
if you see this movie, you will be aware of what that answer is. I mean,
Okay.
Carson Beck can't fit the ball through the zone.
I couldn't get through it. Like, and you know what? It reminded me, like, you got me to try it. All right. I couldn't get through it. It reminded me of when, like, I was dared to go see The Human Centipede, and which I never saw.
That is so crass.
I never saw Human
Centipede is crass. This is
You've seen Human Centipede?
yes, it's crass. This is high art, great performances. This challenges the audience in ways that obviously shakes some people off the branch. But I'm glad that you gave it a shot.
I
You
did.
gave up. That's not a rare thing. A lot of people check out on it. I get it.
I
It is
couldn't
a
get
challenge.
through it.
I don't judge anybody that decides this is not for me because the act is a horrific act. But what is funny to me is that you took to a palate cleanser, and that palate cleanser was The Lighthouse.
That's right. I watched a double feature yesterday, Dave. I watched a double feature because I was also challenged to watch The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe. It's Willem, by the way. It's not William. If you say William Dafoe, you sound like an asshole. It's Willem Dafoe, all right? Show some respect. Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Dave, have you seen The Lighthouse?
Oh, I've seen it multiple times. I'm
Multiple
gaga for
times?
it. I love it. It is a hysterical movie to me. But it is sort of a heavy lift because what I would say is if you've not seen the picture before, and a lot of people just reject movies that are black and white, that's a barrier for some people. But I really do encourage you to have the subtitles on. It's very difficult to follow what they're specifically saying, not just because the language, but also they're drunk for most of the movie. It's magnificent and bizarre.
I had The Lighthouse on my watch list, like on my queue, for a long time, for at least a year. And yesterday I was challenged. So, all right, I'm going to watch The Lighthouse. Little double feature, all right. When was the last time you saw a double feature in the theater? Do you remember, Dave?
I don't know that I've ever actually. I think I once saw I went to see The Twilight Zone, the movie, as a little kid. My mom dropped me and maybe Greg Schuer off at the movie theater in Monroeville, and we consumed Return of the. We did Twilight Zone, and then immediately walked out and went to see Return of the Jedi again. I think that might be the time I referred to 5 minutes ago where I saw the same movie twice.
No, but what I'm actually asking is when a theater actually showed a double feature.
Tarantino owns a movie theater in Los Angeles and regularly shows that, and I love the double bill, the idea of it. I just don't want to sit through 4.5 hours.
I've seen a double feature before. The Sky Lake, there used to be a movie theater in Sky Lake movie theater, $1 movie theater. It was $1 to go to the theater to see movies, Sky Lake movie theater, and they used to show double features. I went one time.
The last time I did a double feature was Barbenheimer.
But that wasn't double feature. I'm going to see this and I'm going to see this.
Right. I mean, they don't do double features. Like, they don't put those out. But
you don't think anywhere does a double feature anymore?
I stayed in the movie theater. I went from one movie to another. I bought tickets to both.
Okay. All right. Wow. Sucker move. Why didn't you just get up and go to the other theater?
Oh, why? Because they sell seats now. It was Barbie and Oppenheimer. You think I can just, like, find one casually? That's
Good
not
answer.
Gonna cause a problem.
Good answer, Mike. Good answer.
Thank you.
But you couldn't go Barbie and then Oppenheimer. You have to go Oppenheimer and then Barbie, right?
That's the order that I did it in. Yeah, that's the order that I did it in.
Smart.
So, yeah, my palate cleanser yesterday, going from the coffee table to the lighthouse.
I watch it every Christmas.
And I was about an hour into the lighthouse. Couldn't get through it.
What? What? Why? Because of how it made you feel, or you didn't like it?
It was just like, what is happening
You missed
here?
like all the great parts.
You don't love the acting performances.
Oh, I know
from
the
Dafoe
acting was.
and Bobby
I
P.
know the acting was really good. Obviously, the acting was really good. But they're
What was the scene that did it?
They're just drunk and arguing the whole time.
That's not the only thing, but yeah, that's a huge part of it.
I couldn't get through it.
But it reaches a critical mass.
Well, I may not have gotten to the critical mass then.
It's a journey into psychosis.
Yeah, he's having the hallucinations, and I don't know. I couldn't do it. 2 movies you gave me yesterday, I couldn't get through either one of them. And I'm not proud of that because I wanted to see The Lighthouse and I wanted to like The Lighthouse. I couldn't get through it.
You didn't laugh? Dave, no, this is definitely a dark comedy.
It's a dark.
I find it, like I say already, I think it's a really funny movie. Dafoe is hysterical in it, and so is Pattinson. I go back to the idea of a system movie, though. Like, I don't think you're sitting in Miami in summertime in the middle of the day, I assume. I can't imagine indulging The Lighthouse there. It is a good later in the evening type of picture. You mentioned Christmas. I have a weird system movie, which is Misery around Christmas. It for me puts me in the mood. I know that's weird, but the snow and everything, it really it takes me back to my youth, and I enjoy watching it. It really does put me in the mood for the seasons.
Is the breaking the ankle scene still like the most shocking scene you've ever witnessed? Because I know for everyone who first saw that movie for the first time, this is the most shocking thing you've ever seen in a movie. Is it still the most shocking thing?
No.
Well, now you know what's coming, and when she reveals that board that she's gonna put his ankles between, it's dynamite stuff. To be watching that, kids, and I watch it with my kids too, by the way. It's like, kids, you're in for a treat coming up here.
How about when Ethan Hunt is jumping from one roof to the other roof and then breaks his ankle on the fall?
Yeah, he actually
got up and kept running.
Yeah, he legit got hurt. Legit broke his ankle and kept running. That's a message to everybody that the great ones sell their bodies. Not
that was
today.
in Fallout, I think, right?
So you're saying that the most shocking thing you've ever seen in a movie, not even 24 hours removed from watching The Coffee Table when the thing happens, is that scene in Misery? Would you like to take that back?
No, I don't want to take it back because the scene in Misery is a really tough watch.
You quit watching The Coffee Table because of what happened.
Yeah, but I kind of felt like I knew what was coming. I told you.
How do you emotionally prepare for that?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
It rolls.
I didn't enjoy it.
Like, do you hear the plop sound?
Yeah, all right. Dave, are you going to watch it now if we sold you on watching The Coffee Table?
I
You know how to read,
weirdly,
right?
yes.
It's in subtitles. We mentioned subtitles, right?
I'll get through that element of it. Yes, I'm going to watch that. I think more stunning is an admission by Buddy Badowski, producer extraordinaire of Football America and Pitch Clock and otherwise. He admitted on purpose he's never seen The Matrix. How's that possible? How are you a guy in your like 25, 30 or whatever he is? How would it be possible to not have it permeate its way into your brain, even if you tried to avoid it? How do you avoid The Matrix?
I also haven't seen it.
Everybody knows
What
you
the
haven't seen it.
hell?
Everybody knows you've never seen
What
The
does that
Matrix. You know what it means. Everybody knows you've never seen The Matrix. So we wake up this morning, and it's another morning of not knowing where LeBron James is going to play basketball next season. And Mike Ryan had a very interesting revelation.
I hope he goes to your town so I can laugh. Because you think he'll make you a contender.
Who's that an impression of?
The sports guy.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Do some more. Let me
What
hear
part
some
of
more.
Massachusetts is that?
Let me hear some more.
I don't do a good Simmons, but that's what I'm doing right now.
That's maybe the worst sentence
That's
I've
the
ever
worst
heard.
Bill Simmons
Hey, man.
impression I've ever
That's a
heard.
bad impression.
Miami Heat media.
We brought this up yesterday, Dave. Was Bill Simmons chastising this show when he talked about the Miami media being annoying?
I mean, how would I possibly know what he's doing? I think that was intended as a shot at you guys. I'm not sure, but that's how I took it.
Mike, you woke up this morning and you had forgotten about LeBron?
Yeah, it was actually last night. I was just doing my stuff, and I'm like, oh man, like LeBron could make a decision at any moment. I think he's waiting a little too long because I know the intention is to also.
It's losing its steam?
Yeah, I think so. Because I had forgotten that he hadn't made his decision yet. It is, like we're one Shams notification away from feeling fully alive, or feeling something, right? And this whole now we've entered the doldrum. I felt like at the beginning of the week we had the wind at our backs, Zaz, and now
I was tweeting.
yeah,
What
and
a
now that feels like it was ages ago.
One of the most fun parts of this, though, right, is when we find out from LeBron, when he makes his decision, the finger pointing and the laughing at whatever media member has been dead wrong throughout this, that's become one of the most fun things about the NBA transaction cycle, right, is being able to point and laugh at the media members.
Well, there's only one fan base that I think gets laughed at and mocked if he decides to go to any of the teams that's not that team. And
that's us.
I do think, I think that there are fair criticisms of Miami Heat media, and I do think that this fan base, for obvious reasons, has worked itself into a lather and has emotionally put itself out there in ways that if he doesn't come here, we hate him again and it leaves us open to hurt.
But don't you feel Miami media throughout this process, I don't think Miami media has been crazy throughout this process. I would say that the other media has embarrassed themselves more.
We're not embarrassing. They are.
With all of the back and forth, right?
Yeah. I mean, like we have a certain Boston media member not named Bill Simmons who seemingly every day is trying to come up with a different theory as to how and why
Dave Portnoy
LeBron isn't gonna
Bob
come
Bryant
to Miami and just please
Dan
pick
Shaughnessy.
Golden State or please pick Cleveland. I mean, come on. Like it's definitely not the Miami. The way
Katie
this has
Nolan.
all been positioned has been, look, this is the best fit.
Michael Holley.
No different than the way Giannis or Spo or Riley have
Scott
positioned
Solak.
it, which is just, hey, if you come here, awesome. It's the best fit
Big
for
Papi.
you. We'll go over the top. But otherwise, like that's fine. Go join some other team and enjoy not being as competitive.
Bobby Orr.
To be fair, I don't know of any other fan base that has made any other noise. Like maybe we're just siloed here, but like I don't see Philly fans talking about it. I don't
Cleveland
see-
fans are loud
Cleveland
about it.
fans are loud about
Yeah,
it. Okay,
Cleveland fans are loud
They
about
must be
Wanna
over
talk to
there
Hammer?
because I don't see them whatsoever.
Do I look like I want to talk to Goldhammer? All right.
So if LeBron picks Miami, Cleveland's gonna be pissed and embarrass themselves
Until next
Yeah.
year.
You think?
No,
so?
I mean that's what they talked about. I just saw maybe 2 days ago Cleveland Sports Radio discussing the idea
I think
that
if they
like
pick Miami,
if he picks Miami, they're going to be viscerally angry. They're going to boo
because
him.
it's like again.
Yeah, it's the second time that theoretically he would have built them up for
Yeah.
a reunion and then
They
come
were
to
just
Miami
in the
specifically.
Eastern Conference Finals
Yeah.
this year.
Yes. So why would they be upset about a 40-year-old?
Because he's
No,
their
but it's about him going
homegrown
to
guy.
Miami.
It's
again.
Miami specifically.
Yeah, I can see that. The Miami thing, man, that's what gives this thing juice.
I know.
Is that, there's one place that makes people feel. That's why I think him picking Miami is the best thing for the league.
But why is, and by the way, that is the best thing about the NBA. Let's tear the Band-Aid off. It is the asset collection conversation that rolls on through the trade deadline and otherwise, and the draft, more than any other sport, I feel like. If they get that piece and we pair with that, it's putting a puzzle together. Maybe it's the limited number of individuals who comprise a NBA rotation that makes it so fascinating. But first of all, I have to say again that the best, if it's a title that he wants more than anything else, the Spurs are the answer. They're not even in play here. The Sixers, I think, are their second best chance, his second best chance at getting a title, if that's the goal. Cleveland, prodigal son, third act, that's how he finishes his career up. What exactly is the appeal of Miami? Explain it to me. To LeBron.
Lifestyle, coach.
Okay.
Two guys on the team that will play defense, so he doesn't have to. Since
Yeah,
he's
I think
fallen
that's
off
a
there.
major.
Yeah,
a major.
I'm
plus.
not falling for this. Again, that's a national narrative that Miami stinks. Now, Miami has its challenges without LeBron James, but I do think so does everybody. But I do think that LeBron immediately corrects a lot of the glaring issues that are on this roster right now and microwaves a title contender.
Yeah, their biggest issue right now is having a guy who can close the game with the ball in his hands that is not named Giannis or Bam, specifically because of the individual limitations to their game. Giannis isn't a great free throw shooter. You send him the line in closing things out. But, like, the appeal is obviously that you'd be getting the best coach in basketball, you'd be getting an established culture, and you'd be getting a team that does have all of the supplementary pieces. They have defensive-oriented guards, they have defensive-oriented wings, they have defensive-oriented big men, and everybody's really switchable on that team. Plus, as Zaz highlighted yesterday, they actually do have a lot of really good shooting on this team. And Shams said it yesterday.
You say that like with a tone. I don't like it.
He's a good shooter. And Shams said it yesterday. Like, he said Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, Philly, and Minnesota. Those are the teams they're choosing from. Those are the teams. They're set. They're not waiting on Anthony Davis. And he said, this is a quote, "This is going to be based on happiness, chance to contend for a championship, join a culture."
And Dave, like, part of the appeal here that's not really discussed by the national media all that much is Miami is best set to build beyond just this offseason. They have a ton of flexibility coming up in the next offseason should LeBron try to prolong his career.
And if I could also add, Dave, as opposed to a team like Cleveland and a team like Philadelphia, you go to Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey is going to have the ball in his hands. Jaylen Brown.
I was just going to say this, as I think Taché picked up on that. Continue. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. If you have an ego after being in a situation in LA
yes.
where you brought a title to the town and it wasn't completely honored in the way it should have been because it was a COVID one, and Anthony Davis was the best player really for that playoff run, and now Luka arrives and like, hey, LeBron, take a back seat to this guy. Continues as.
He was essentially, and he played the role great this past year, but he got moved to the third option on the Lakers. And in Philly, you got two guys who are going to be the ball handlers. In Cleveland, you have two guys who are going to be the ball handlers before LeBron. You come to Miami, you got the ball in your hand. Like, you are the guy making the plays, and you don't have to do all the scoring because you do have two other big-time scoring options, one of them who's a top 3 probably player in the entire league in Giannis. So you do, in Miami, get to have the ball, you get to make the plays, and you get to also show everybody, and he clearly likes this idea. It's why, it's July 24th, and he still doesn't have a team yet because he likes being able to show everybody, I'm still the guy, I'm still the center of attention. You get to be the guy, or at least attempt to be the guy, with the ball in your hands all the time and prove that you're not a third option if you come to Miami.
Right. I think that is the appeal. If he wants to be the man in the last 30 seconds, the last 2 minutes of a game, Miami, I can't disagree with you and Taché. I think that's the opportunity that the Heat provides.
Timberwolves there at the end of the list. Zaz, did you see who reached out to LeBron to recruit him over to Minnesota?
Tom Gugliotta.
LaMelo Ball. What on earth would LaMelo Ball tell LeBron James to get him to go over to Minnesota? Does he even pick up that call?
I'm leaving. I'll leave if you come here. That would help.
It's like, LeBron, I'm here.
Danny B had a pretty good idea that LeBron, this has gone almost a month, that LeBron should have approached this like every day he removes a team from the list.
Oh, that'd be
How
so
great would that
dramatic.
have been? It is, it's June 15th, and I'm here to announce
The Raptors.
the Raptors are no longer in play.
Oh, it'd be so insulting to the team. It's like, all right, we knew you didn't want to play for us, but really, us before them?
What makes us worse than the Kings?
Oh, that'd be so
More
good.
insulting than the decision? I mean, this would be a sequel to the original game show, which went over great, LeBron. Definitely do that. By the way, serendipity. Who did I just run into in Manhattan in a coffee shop and said hello to? Jim Gray,
Really?
host of The Decision. in
What's he
case
up to
anybody-
these days?
He must have enjoyed that.
Did you catch up?
We didn't catch up. You know what I did say to him, because I'm a weathered old media vet myself. I said, tough day for the industry. It was the day that the ESPN heads got lopped off, and we tisk at the state of our chosen
How did
path
they do that to
in life.
Ravi? I know Ravi, that 33 years. Yeah.
That's basically.
Got to pay your respect. That's a good job out of you there, Dave. Why is it assumed, and this is some Boston media who's done this as well, where it's like, if he was going to choose the Miami Heat, he would have already chosen them. What would he still be waiting for? The Heat's roster is already set. Hold on a second. Did I miss the memo that the Heat, they're locked in to this current team? They're not allowed to make trades. They're not allowed to sign anybody. Other teams can still maneuver, but the Miami Heat, their roster is set. So if LeBron was going to go there, if he liked that roster, if he liked that situation, he would have already signed there. Did I miss that memo?
Why doesn't that apply to all the other teams? I think the one
No,
that
they can still make moves. The Heat cannot.
I feel like it applies the most to Cleveland. Like, why would he draw this out if he was just going to end up landing back home? But it seems like an asinine take when there are very clearly available free agents that are waiting for where LeBron goes.
It's because you have some of these media members, they're afraid of him coming to Miami. They are. There is an anti-Miami bias. I mean, do I think sometimes the anti-Miami stuff is a little bit main character syndrome? Yes, I think the Miami Hurricane fan has a lot of that. I do. I gotta be honest, Mike.
No. That is an actual persecuted fan base.
I
It is.
think it's a little over the top sometimes.
Man, kiss my ass.
Sometimes.
Kiss my ass.
I think there's
Kiss my ass. We took a bunch of kids to Benihana. All right, that's all we did. We took kids to Benihana, and they tried to shut our program down.
Let me just make this clear real quick. I'm not going to kiss anyone's ass, all right? I'm not kissing your ass.
Kiss my ass. I had to
I
go
will
through
not.
2 months of having a team we beat ranked ahead of us.
I'm not kissing anyone's ass. Let's be clear about that. I do think that sometimes it's a little bit of a persecution
I
complex.
think you should suck it.
I'm not going to do that either. I'll never do that. I'm not going to do that either. But I think in this case there is media who are afraid of him coming to the Heat. They don't like the idea that Miami is going to be good. They don't like the idea that the Heat are going to be good. They don't like the Heat fans, and they also don't like the Heat media, which, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the Miami media could be,
Latino.
Take it or leave it. But
When national voices talk about the Miami sports media, they're talking about you guys. Who do you think they're talking about? if
like
not
this
you?
show?
I mean, what sports outlet out of Miami transcends Miami besides the Le Batard Show? Right?
What could Boston not like about us?
You answer. Well, Miami should be upset with Boston still for what neck roll Steve Grogan and company did in the Orange Bowl way back. When
I thought you were going to say
really
Flutie. That one still hurts, and I wasn't even alive for it.
So I want to show you guys something. Is it going to happen this weekend? Is there any chance it happens this weekend? No, right?
I don't.
But let me just say for the record, it's spiritually insane if LeBron doesn't go to Cleveland. I'm sorry, Miami, but if he doesn't go after dragging it out this long, he didn't learn a lesson from the decision. I always say that LeBron leaving Cleveland could have been spun in such a way that, listen, I've had it with the bourgeoisie. We are at the player level, at the working class level. We are striking a blow for the proletariat. We're going Bosch and Ray Allen and me. We're joining forces. We don't need GMs or executives or billionaires weighing in on this. We're going to forge a team that is going to be a super team. It was the handling of it, like I'm taking my talents to South Beach, that was so offensive to Cleveland and the chip on the shoulder that they have up there. If he does that again by dragging this all out, like, you're in play, Cleveland, I might come home one last time, and then he goes to Miami again, shame the devil.
You might be surprised, Dave, but Chris Bosch, he gave where he thinks is the best destination for LeBron to choose. Here it is.
If I were in LeBron James's shoes, I would choose Miami. And here's why. If you really think about it, where do people go when you're about to retire or you're retired? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make nothing up in this situation. You see that he's picked up the sticks. He's got a new hobby in golf. Where can you golf? All the time. Or if you have Giannis and LeBron, we've seen this before too. LeBron, D. Wade, open court, they'd be a nightmare to stop. And they still have to fill out the team. They still have to get shooting and all that stuff. I understand that. But if you know anything about the Miami Heat, you know that they want to be competitive. They don't believe in wasted years. They are going to put a team around Giannis to be able to compete for a championship. So with all those things said, I think that is the best place for him.
All right, so Bosch thinks Miami's the best spot for LeBron. How about that?
The golf thing is so off-putting, and he is out of touch with the average person if he thinks that is a charming element to his decision. I can play golf on fancy golf courses. That'll really win over the Cleveland fans who are on the fence of, like, do we honor LeBron's career or do we consider him a traitor as people from Northeast Ohio?
Dave, like, it was on Rich Paul's whiteboard. It's a part of the stuff he's taking into consideration, and that's according to his agent.
Okay, listen, the idea that LeBron James isn't going to be able to play golf for the rest of his life the day he retires, and by the way, it's not minus 17 degrees in Cleveland year round. He's going to be able to play golf there too. It's a slap in the face. Again, if he does this, again, I'm on the other side of the Ohio-Pennsylvania border as we speak here. People do have a chip on their shoulder about the lack of appeal that, you know, is sold to people. The idea that he would go down to Richie Rich South Beach again in favor of going back to Cleveland for the narrative. If it matters to you how you're perceived and how you're going to be remembered, the three acts of Cleveland with, you know, Miami and LA, fancy pants towns in between, that's a nice story. To go to Philly to chase a title would be bizarre. Minnesota, same thing. Miami, it would be redundant with the bad choice, or at least the look of why he went to Miami. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Not one, not two, all that ridiculousness. Now, after stretching this out for a month, I think it really would play as a repeat. He's aware of that.
I'm more convinced than ever that it's the best thing for the league that he picks Miami, because even to Dave, it seems like Miami is the only thing that's really drawing a reaction out of him. And I think it's the only place that he would pick that gets a negative reaction from these fan bases. And I don't think it's just the time he took to make the decision, though people will point to that. But ultimately, at the heart of this is, how could you pick Miami again over us?
Yep.
Oh, Philly, I think, would be potentially worse.
If he doesn't pick Philly?
So out of bounds. It's just so out of bounds. It's mercenary behavior at that point.
Oh, the reaction to him going to Philly would be worse, you mean? Because it's like, why are you choosing?
I disagree. Yeah. If it does, it would catch me by total surprise, because none of that's out there right now. None of that. Kevin O'Connor's not trying to negative recruit Philadelphia.
The Philly and Minnesota thing being at the end of what Shams has to say, along with Golden State, Miami, and Cleveland, it feels like the reason that those two teams would even be in it are for the reason that the Knicks would have been had they not won the title, which is their two kind of sorry franchises over the last stretch, and helping to put them over the edge.
What does
is
he
a
care
piece
about?
Of the story.
What does he care about winning
but you get to go,
that random city a championship?
You get to go play with guys you'd enjoy playing with.
Okay, but the fact that the franchise never won a title, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but if you're going to, like, the perfect example is, like, He could go to the Spurs and help the Spurs win a championship and play with Wemby and have the same sort of situation. But it's different because they've been a stable franchise, one that he played against in the finals. Like, there are certain narratives that matter to this story. LeBron cares about the way that he's perceived. And I do think the reason that the Miami thing does work in that respect, where he can justify it as this is a good thing, it draws a reaction out of people, is this is the only place left in the career arc where there's still of a kind of unfinished relationship.
Okay, so
there,
I'll be completely
right?
I want to be fair because I say, why would LeBron care about winning the city of Minneapolis a championship? Like, who gives a shit? I would also say, based on what you just said right there, I don't think he gives a shit about that either. The idea of I have unfinished business in Miami. He won 2 championships.
No, but it's basically you have a relationship there.
I know, but
you have LA,
unfinished
you
business,
have Cleveland.
Like things were sour when I left, and I want to make everything right there in Miami. I don't think he cares at all about that. If he comes here, it's because he knows the organization, he's familiar with it, he trusts the people, and it's a place that he feels like he can win.
I don't do a good Simmons, but that's what I'm doing right now.
Steve Eisenman struggled because he's a pothead? Is that what you just asked us? No. No, I don't. And did he admit that? No, I feel like if he admitted that, are you on the devil's lettuce? Are you the pothead? What?
All right. Well, there's that.
No!
Gas bag of the week.
Does that deserve applause?
I love radio remotes. Birds chirping in the background. The soft sounds of you adjusting your headphones.
Are you on the devil's lettuce?
The fact that that's probably a car dealership. Oh, that's hot. I like that. I'm an audiophile.
Down at Potemkin Mazda.
So is Roy. Roy is, I don't know what that look is on Roy's face, but it
pleasing.
Looked a bit like old girlfriend longing. She was a real hellcat. Like, yeah.
Yeah, real tomcat. I love that. Oh, hey, Gary Abar. I'm getting a little. My return is a little too loud, Gary Abar. Oh man,
where's Tree?
Oh yeah. What's the ISDN settings? G.722.
I get this joke too.
We got a backup coupler. Hell yeah, G.722.
It's a good call by you.
Gary Abar, Jeremy, was the most competent of all of the engineering and audio help that we had. But that particular sound that Roy just played that made him both nostalgic and longing in a way that is weird. There's a little nature in there. But what you really hear there that is making Roy laugh, and it's what Zaz is appreciating here as well. Rare is it that you get the sound of what it sounds like on the very lowest rung of the show business ladder. And this is below that. Like, so you got the lowest rung of the show business ladder, and then you've got where you plant the ladder underneath that. And then underneath that, then the car people coming by, and you're surrounded by used car salesmen, and Ed Williamson is up your ass.
Just 500 due at signing.
Tax tagging time.
We got a bounce house here for the kids. The cookies are warm and the coffee is hotter.
My father would show up at those when we weren't doing the remotes just to have like the pigs in a blanket that have been there since Wednesday on a tray where, Julio, the sad car dealer guy who's finishing 9th place that just out of the bonus that week is sniffing around as you're talking about Lusaka Polite.
Got Defo in the corner asking trivia questions at JM Lexus about the 1970s Knicks. I love it.
That's where we started right there. Gary Abar's the height of the professionalism. I don't know why they did that. Look, people in Gary Abar's position in my history in this business, every last one of them has been insane. Gary Abar's the only sane one.
He's a beacon.
He was the only guy. That guy was a lighthouse. That guy, whenever that sound was happening, Gary, the birds are too loud. I wasn't expecting those at the car dealership. Also, there's an alligator in lot 3 because we're in the Everglades.
Ed Morse, of course.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports.
About yourself?
These guys back here.
That was like a Christopher Walken type delivery.
They were doing that thing of like messing with me right before I went.
Getting them rattled.
And it worked.
It's presented by DraftKings.
His hands are so small.
Vince Goodwill of ESPN is reporting this morning.
What do you say?
I'll allow it. Is reporting this morning that LeBron James has been trying to push for Cleveland to acquire Kyrie Irving, and that Dallas and Kyrie both declined.
Whoa. Hurtful.
So that kind of feels like Kyrie rejecting LeBron for a second time, right?
I feel like Miami can make the Kyrie thing happen, but man, this is interesting. Are we to believe, if we are to believe the Kyrie Anthony, that does give more credence to what Shams
I think that makes sense.
Rejected, which was, the reason why, in part, this is taking so long is LeBron is giving teams ample time to acquire Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving.
Oh, he said Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving?
That was one of the reports, but it was dismissed by Shams. But now you have something with this Kyrie news with Vince is a reputable reporter that does give credence to that theory. Kyrie can be had. I do find it curious.
I think Dallas wants to keep him.
I do find it curious though that a 42-year-old man is like, I'll come there if you get Kyrie Irving, who you can never count on. You just can never count on him being there for playoff stretches.
The way Dusty May talked about Kyrie Irving after seeing him in a workout, like I don't think Dallas wants to get rid of Kyrie.
I don't think they do either.
And I do wonder sometimes, right? Like when we talk about reporting, sometimes information gets to people multiple weeks after it was real, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's false information, but the whole he wants the Warriors to trade for Anthony Davis. That could have been true a few weeks ago before they came out and said they won't be trading Jimmy Butler. Wanting Cleveland to trade for Kyrie could have been true a couple of weeks ago before it was made clear that they wouldn't be doing so or that Dallas had rejected it. So all of this information can always get to reporters a little bit later and start to leak out because now I can confirm through multiple people they were trying to make that happen, and we're trying to come up with the reasons why it's taking so long, even if that's not really what it is at this point.
I just think that we are in an age, the last decade, the prior decade was about teams that never won a title finally getting over. The Cubs and the Capitals and now the Knickerbockers, I guess, are a carryover from that. But right now, it feels like we are in an age of reunions. Patrick Kane getting back together, nostalgia. Patrick Kane is going back to the Blackhawks. Point Break is back in the theaters, or it's coming back to the theaters for its 30 or 35th anniversary. Chris Russo now wants to make football picks with Mike Francesa. all of this going back home, prodigal son stuff, it makes all the sense in the world to me that LeBron, after all the accusations, and I still continue to be baffled by why he is so demonized in a world of actually atrocious people. But okay, LeBron is maybe a little bit phony, and that's the charge that people put on him all the time is that he's a phony. This would be a sweetheart thing to do, to go back and finish where it all began.
Oh, stop!
Right?
But he already did that once, and we have claim to that too. He did his most winning here. He played his best basketball here. This story arc does exist, and I'm with you. Like the going home stuff, even with the Odyssey. Yes,
what a movie! I'm seeing it again today.
I know that it's in vogue, but this is what I'm talking about when it does come to what I think is a legitimate anti-Miami bias. Is there is a return arc to Miami as well,
and golf too.
It was on his list, and also LeBron.
And oil.
If you want to play with Kyrie so bad, the Mavs were on your initial whiteboard. Like, when you're doing your decision-making, if Kyrie were that important, why is it reported that the Mavs are out of this?
Why would Dallas want James Harden? Like, of course Dallas said no to a James Harden-Kyrie Irving swap. Why would any team want to give up a good player? That's assuming Kyrie Irving is still going to be good. Why would any team want to give up a good player for James Harden? Like, you're just going to outright sign James Harden. You're going to keep James Harden. You're Cleveland. I understand that, but it's like, hey, this is going to help us get better. Let's bring aboard James Harden. Why would you do that?
Any chance LeBron is saying, I would love to be in Cleveland, but I really don't want to get dragged down by James Harden in my final season?
Yes.
Well, then why wasn't it mapped out before the entire offseason?
You think it should have said on the whiteboard, no James Harden?
I'm with you.
That'd be mean.
Like, things have happened. If Cleveland were the choice, and we're all asking these very obvious questions.
No, Cleveland could still make moves. Miami's the only team that can't make moves anymore.
Well, remember, Rich Paul did hype up Darius Garland, and Cleveland not having Garland anymore
as a clutch guy.
As a
no
negative.
Garland.
Nice.
Yeah, parenthetically, negative.
Right.
He's a clutch guy.
But that's also who was he traded
as
for?
you said, Zaz and Taché, as you pointed out, what Miami offers is him being the number one option with the ball in his hands, with the game on the line. And if he goes to Cleveland, that would be, I mean, what a slap in the face. Yeah, LeBron, great, but James Harden gets the last shot.
Going back to Miami is such a cool story. It really is. And that's his height of infamy, I think. It's a cool story for him to return to Miami and try to do it with that group. There was a lot of animosity there to undo that. Like, we've already seen the Cleveland thing. And I do think if he goes to Miami, like you guys say, it affords him the opportunity that no other team affords him. Any of these other teams in the mix is, whose hands that ball is going to be at the end of the game. He can still be the man.
Let's move on to some important stuff here, and that is that we have multiple raccoon stories.
Yeah, we do. Have you guys seen Jimothy?
I have. Yeah, he took the internet by storm last week.
Yeah, Jimothy is my new favorite
idea
creature.
what
So
this
you might
is.
remember Punch the Monkey. You might remember Mudang. It's when these tiny animals sort of
I don't know that
capture the hearts of the internet. And now it's Jimothy the raccoon. So in Seattle, in a town in Seattle, there was this video that went viral of this very strange-looking creature.
The hell is that?
It's a beautiful little raccoon.
Beautiful.
Jimothy.
Your definition of beautiful is different from mine.
So he has some sort of disease where his spine is a little bit smaller. And so everyone was losing their minds over that video of Jimothy. And then old videos started to resurface. So there's a second video of Jimothy the raccoon as a little baby. So this is from like a year earlier.
It looks like he's missing half his body.
It looks like he's missing half his body. He looks like a cartoon character. He looks animated. He's been everybody's favorite thing on the internet. He's adorable. And where this video came from is...
But he's got rabies.
But the story that was amazing about this, that's like an adult-sized head of a raccoon on just like this tiny little baby body. And the best
With
part about it
rabies.
was that this video came out afterward because there was a guy who was like, wait a minute. I know that raccoon was going viral. He used to live outside of my house. He would walk up along the fence with his family. He had even, in an article that I read, dug holes under the fence because Jimothy would fall off the fence so often because of the weird shape of his body when the rest of the raccoon family was up there. So that he could get across, he dug little holes underneath the fence for him to be able to go through. And then the neighbor chopped down the tree, and they left, and now this was like 5 blocks away from where he lives that this second video went viral. And so everyone's been trying to find Jimothy. He's sort of frolicking throughout this Seattle town. One of my favorite things is when people come together over a tiny little animal. And this is such a great example of it. And to me, that's Worth a Toast. Yeah.
Wow.
And Worth a Toast is presented by Cuervo. Keep it fun. Keep it Cuervo. Keep it Jimothy.
Wow. Giving it up for Jimothy. All right.
Love him.
Okay. But that is the first. Yes, Mike, we are toasting. Yes, Mike. That is the first, though, of multiple raccoon stories we have, right, Chris?
My raccoon story is way cooler.
Is this a new Friday thing, raccoon stories?
Just animal stories.
Could be.
I'll have
one
one
for you next week.
later.
Could be.
Ooh, a Friday thing for us later, Tony. That's interesting. All right, so this raccoon story is more up my alley. This is a guy this raccoon, it's not a guy, it's a raccoon. He's realized that if I stop this Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru, we're going to pull it up here and play it for the audience. He goes to this drive-thru. He blocks the line so no one can get through. And the only way he leaves is if they open up and give him a donut. He reportedly goes here daily. And it's a thing where the line gets backed up, and then they're like, all right, we got to get him his donut. So they open the thing. They see here, they're handing him a donut. He stands up. He takes a bite. He's like, all right, see you guys tomorrow.
Whoa.
And it is just a thing, like a daily tradition. I don't know if this is good. They're setting a thing here. All of a sudden, they're going to have like a line of raccoons.
No hands. Yeah.
But this is way cooler. I like my raccoon better than Jimothy.
But aren't they
Jimothy's
afraid
the
of
best.
rabies?
I don't think they all have rabies.
I think they do.
Nope.
Wow, look at that. He's just chilling there.
He's going with a vanilla frosted. Do you think that's his preference, or do you think they just give him like the oldest donut around?
Well, yeah, like I wonder if he ever shakes them off, where he's like, that's, like
Strawberry.
You got any crullers back there?
That literally happens. My insane wife loves to maintain some sort of animal sanctuary in our backyard. Birds of every stripe, of every feather. She literally has now taken to feeding the squirrels. And a couple of the squirrels come by every morning at the exact same time. It's wild that and they come, and now they have gotten, like you say, they've gotten picky. They don't take everything. She gives them the kids leftover breakfast stuff very often, but only some of the fare do they care for. Some they just give the hi-hat to and leave it out there for the other creatures. And then they wait, and then they carry it, and then they run right back up the tree with it, with a half-eaten granola bar, right back up the tree. It's wild.
My raccoon is going to die early, though, right? That's way too much sugar daily for a raccoon. That can't be part of...
It's not. I die earlier than Jimothy. Jimothy looks like he's got some issues.
Let's see. Who you got? Let's put it on the poll. Who lasts longer, Dunkin' Donuts raccoon or Jimothy?
Yeah, put on the poll. Who lasts longer? Just do what Chris just said. So...
Good work.
Okay, that reminds me, by the way. So, like, the raccoon there, Chris's raccoon, we'll call him. Chris's raccoon is just getting free food from the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts every day. I used to do this when I was in college. This reminds me of something. I used to do this when I was in college. I already told you guys I used to steal...
Hold up a line until they gave you a donut?
No, but I already told you guys, when I was in college, used to steal the deli meats.
Were you in
Publix.
college?
Yeah.
You haven't cleared that up yet.
Yes, I used to steal deli meats from Publix.
Santa Fe?
When?
No, I never went to Santa Fe. I already told you. I have no idea where Santa Fe Community College is. I don't have a clue.
It was explained to you.
But we used to go to the drive-thru at, wherever. It could be Wendy's, whatever, in Gainesville at University of Florida. Because that's where I attended. And we would be in the drive-thru. We make our order, right? A big order. And... you drive up to now the window to get your food. Not where you give the money. That's the first window. The second window is where you get the food. But I'd leave a little bit of space, between the car, between the driver's side.
You would hit the hole?
Can you just let me finish the story? You'd leave a little bit of space.
You were in college.
Between the driver's side and the window where they pass you the food. And the reason for that is because we would have another car that was already chilling in the parking lot, and one of our friends would run in between when they're handing us all the food. That's why I leave room between the driver's side and the window. He would run through and snatch all the food and run into the car run into the car that was parked, and we'd be like, "Oh my God, what happened? What was that?" And then they would have to obviously give us our food, and now we had double the food.
How many times could you pull off this caper?
I mean, you can go to whatever fast food place you want, you know?
Scammer.
Oh my God,
Diabolical.
where did that guy come from?
It's really stupid.
It was hard though because you would only be able, you would have to wait for the bag because if you make the run when they're just giving you like the drink, it's
Yeah,
like
you can mistime it.
but it's like we're just a soda, you know. You got to wait for them to actually hand the bag, all right, and you got to leave enough room between the driver's side and the window so your friend can easily run through and get the food. Oh my God, where did he come from? But where's our food? Give us our food. You get double
Smart.
the food. Yeah, I know, right?
It's criminal, but it's a savvy play.
Well, I'll let you know. Wendy's is still open today.
They're doing all right. We used to call that hitting the hole, right? Because when you get the running back,
Yeah.
you get the ball, and then you got to hit the hole.
Yep.
I didn't do this, but I was a part of a car that did this one time. Not that. Something different. We call fire in the hole. Do you know about fire in the hole?
No, what's that?
Oh man, I did not like fire in the hole, and I want everybody to know this. I did not do this. This was a friend of mine. So we would go through the drive-thru. We get our food. We get our drinks. We're ready to go, right? Hey, you know what? Can I get 1 cup of water, please? The person would give us a 1 cup of water. The driver, not me. I was in the back seat. And then the driver would look over and be like, "What's that?" And the person would go, "What? Fire in the hole!" Take the water and gun it. I agree. I agree.
Into the store?
Gun it into the store.
That's
like
terrible.
I agree. It's terrible, but it happened, and I was a part of it. I was an accomplice, and I feel like getting
To
it off
what
my-
end, though? What was the goal?
to
of this?
completely
Throwing
soak the
water?
drive-through worker. I don't know.
That's
I
awful.
don't like that, but I'm saying
I don't care for that.
That sounds like some stuff you can only get away with if you're
White.
That's truly awful.
I got bad news for you.
That-
The guy was
White.
no.
I don't like your story. See, for me at least, what we were doing was wrong, but we're not hurting anyone. All right.
He was
Black.
whoa.
Take it easy over there.
That's what LeBron would be doing to the city of Cleveland. Same thing, like, "Hey, Cleveland, come here, come get close, open the window, come here, like, get close. Take that again! I'm going to Miami." That's exactly what he's
fire in the
trying
hole. You
to
got to
do
repeat
right now.
fire in the hole though.
I'm a little
yeah.
taken aback by your story. I got to be honest.
I didn't like it, but I was a part of it, and I want everybody to know that hey, I feel sorry about it.
So Cleveland's the only market that gets jerked around if he picks another team, right? It's totally unfair if this happens to Cleveland and he picks Miami, but if he, has Miami on the line for two weeks with a history of its own, but he picks Cleveland, that's totally fine. That's fair game.
No, Tony is your representative. He is the Miami representative, and he's trying to have it both ways. My friend threw a cup of water on the guy. I didn't care for it, but I was there, and I'm admitting
Dave, what do
it
you want me to
now.
do? Get out of the car? Citizens arrest him?
I don't know. You're having it both ways. You're telling a delightful tale from your youth. It was out of bounds, but nevertheless you recalled it.
This
but
happened
then
last week.
Now you send up to Mount Pius to say, "Oh, by the way, I didn't care."
I didn't care for that, by the way. 10 years
You're
later, I still
cashing
didn't
in
like
on
it.
the story.
It was
but
at a-
also stiff arming it.
It was
Outrageous.
at the Taco Bell on Colonial and Alafaya, next to the Steak
Something
and
tells
Shake.
me that night though you didn't say I don't stand for this.
No, I didn't. No. I was a quiet accomplice.
You see this came out, I guess, earlier today. You know how they were moving that college basketball, that Duke-Michigan game was originally going to be at Madison Square Garden in December, but because between it's Duke, it's ACC, it's Michigan, it's Big Ten, and it's Madison Square Garden that has its own broadcast partners, they had to move the game, and it was going to be played at Lone Depot Park here. Well, now they've canceled it altogether. That kind of sucks.
I mean, it would have been a weird fit.
I thought it would have been cool to go see Michigan. And
Yeah, it
Duke
would have
play
been cool
here.
for us, but admittedly, I would say other college basketball markets deserve that matchup more.
Yeah.
Weird spot. And a
Very
even
weird spot.
Stranger venue.
Yep, very weird spot. But I don't know. I would have
Well,
liked
it's
to have
very
gone.
the weird venues that are just a part of our lives for the last few decades are the tournaments in Puerto Rico, in Hawaii, and we just sign off on them because it's a nice little addition to the programming for a sports fan. But really, why do those things exist? Why do they have tournaments where college teams fly off to a distant land to perform their basketball?
I mean, I used to love the stories. I know the Hurricanes back in the day, they would Hurricanes basketball would schedule those tournaments, like, the Bahamas,
love
Atlantic City, Perry Clark at the craps table in the middle of the night.
As much as NFL football has a monopoly over Thanksgiving, it's also not Thanksgiving to me if there isn't two mid-table teams in the ACC playing in a ballroom somewhere in Bahamar.
It's so true. And we all know, I assume everybody knows what Chaminade is, right? Because of one of those tournaments. Everybody, or maybe nobody does because you're all too young. Chaminade beat Ralph Sampson's Virginia, I think in like 1982, and people still point to that to validate the existence of those tournaments.
Chaminade down here was Dan's high school, right? I believe so. How about that? Dave, you
Also, why do they call it preseason tournaments?
Right.
That always bothered me because these count. It's regular season ball, but they call them preseason tournaments. And
Not only do they count, they're overly important when it comes down to it. In March, they look back to like, yeah, but you lost to Baylor on November 29th. Like, what the hell are we referencing
they should stop
back
doing
4 months ago?
They need to stop calling those preseason tournaments. It's confusing.
Dave, you are still on the East Coast. Our visual audience can see you are not in your normal home studios, but you were a man about New York City this week, right?
Oh, what a time I had. Have you ever been on the air? They don't put the magazines anymore, the airline magazines, but they used to have back in the day the perfect 48 hours in blank. I had the perfect 48 hours in New York City. I flew in. I went straight to the Bronx to catch the Yankees play the Buccos with my old pal Pulowski and his son Mo. We had a delightful time as Merlin Valdez, the breakout star of the National League in 2026, hit a home run. All right, the Pirates lost, but no matter. I jumped back on the train. I went home. I had a late night drink with my wife who was waiting me back in the hotel. Woke up. I went off. It was rainy out. I went to the MoMA. Why? Because I'm a fancy man, and I looked at artwork, and I went along with me. I carried an umbrella, not one of the kinds, the modern ones that you push the button and it's short and it extends out. I'm talking about the one with the handle and it's wooden and all. And I walked around New York City, and I realized as I made my way, I was a better man thanks to the old school umbrella. And I now am toying at least with the idea of becoming a full-on umbrella guy. Because Kane, I feel like I would have to limp. You're jauntier when you walk the streets. You kind of like, I was doing unironically like Gene Kelly. I was kind of spinning the umbrella as I walked down the street past strangers. In fact, by the way, as a side note, as I made my way through the streets of Manhattan, I looked through a picture window of a department store, and they had a dinette, thing set up there with a plate on the table and the napkins and everything else. And a woman, as I was just standing there watching on the corner, a woman came over and she opened up a bag and she opened her bagel with cream cheese on the plate of the department store display and ate her bagel just straight off of that as though this setup was awaiting her arrival there.
No, I don't
That kind of stuff is the best. I literally have a photo of it. I literally have a photo of it. But then I went there, and the wife and I went out for Italian food at night, and we made our vigorous love. It was just a wonderful 48 hours.
How do we know it was so vigorous? Like, is there ever a time where it's like, this was just not vigorous enough?
Well, if you have to ask Zaz, I don't know what to tell you.
Did you lay bare?
I was bare where it counted.
Keeping the old
Socks on?
Keeping the shirt and
Ooh.
socks on.
My
Pooing it.
man, socks
Pooing it.
on.
Well, I mean, in a hotel, you should always. That's what Mo Damashek, my mother, taught me. You always make sure you keep your socks on. Not for the lovemaking. She didn't say that, but in a hotel, you don't take your socks off.
Wow, so that was your distinctly New York experience?
That was it. But I really am thinking about that. Here's what I did with the umbrella. When I got back to the hotel, it was a little rainy and everything, and but I wrapped the thing around it so it wasn't open. Obviously, I'm not a slob. And I went to the elevator, and instead of pushing the button with my finger, I used the pointer on the umbrella. Oh, it was great. I just I did like that. I might just. I know in L.A. it'd be a weird look because it doesn't rain out there, but man, What a cool move, right? I thought about 20 years ago that it would be neat to be a yo-yo guy, like just walking the streets. Always,
You were wrong.
Always with a yo-yo. I ultimately I agree with you, but I think an umbrella might do the trick. How say you?
Making vigorous love after an Italian meal, that's a choice.
I may not have done them in sequence. I may not have done them in the same order that I just explained them to you.
Too much cheese for me.
A distinctly New York experience. Good for you. Have I ever told you the first time I ever went, my first ever New York City experience?
I don't think Italians ever stopped Chris Cody. I'm going to go on the record.
I ever told you my distinctly New York City experience?
Or
first
cheese.
time ever in New York. Tony, do you remember the first time you were ever in New York?
Yeah, I do. My parents took me. It was 2008, and I remember walking by the where the Twin Towers were, and I was like, "Whoa, that's where it happened." It was still like all messed up. That was my biggest memory of
This is
New
probably
York.
like around 2008 for me too. The first time, maybe a little bit before, the first time I ever went to New York, and actually it was a little bit before that. And my girlfriend, who is now my wife, she took me. She's a veteran of New York City. I mean, she went to school up there for a little bit, and so we went to go ride the subway. I'd never ridden a subway before. All right, so I was a little bit nervous because you hear.
Yeah, you do.
You hear stories, it's
20
not
years later, still happens.
safe and it's dirty and
safe.
Well, I know that now. Okay,
diverse
I'm talking
ethnically.
25 years ago.
Making it clear.
There's nothing wrong with I love the subway now, actually, but that was my first time on a subway before, and she knows I'm nervous about the whole situation, and I swear. All right, we get on the subway, we sit down, the doors close, we're about to leave. Buddy stands up in front of the whole train. He's right next to me, too.
That's never good.
Buddy stands up. He has an announcement for the entire train. He's right next to me, and he has to announce to everybody that he's HIV positive. And this is the first time I've ever been on a subway. I'm nervous as it is, and I was so shook, just completely shook. Like, why does he have to make the announcement? I don't know. And it's happening like on my lap. Everybody, just want everybody to know everything's okay. I'm HIV positive.
This woman who set out her bagel on the dinette display, I don't know if she was HIV positive, but it was definitely disgusting. Or
It's a nice neighborhood you got there.
I think you're really going to like the coffee table.
She opened her bagel on the thing and just like with cream cheese and everything. Is that what you did you think? Were you walking down the street like, oh, there's a place?
Were you
that'll be
nervous
suitable
snapping
for
the
my
picture?
eating?
Like, did you want to be incognito?
No.
I'm gonna take it. Who cares?
Insane woman eating a bagel behind a sheet of glass. Yes, I was petrified. Much
Mike,
like Tony, I disapproved. I didn't say anything though.
Mike, I know this is something you and Dave are both into. You see the Los Angeles Rams new uniforms.
It's not every day that a team announces 2 new alternates. It's so close to the season, Dave. This is a bit of a surprise. Now
these are good-looking uniforms.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to tap back into the retro look. We always assumed we'd one day see the all whites from the Deacon Jones era back there. I think the surprise here is the classic soul. Dave Damashek, these uniforms are getting a lot of feedback. Man, I think the Rams can wear a different uniform every week. They have so many options. What do you say about these new uniforms?
And of course, let's also remind everybody, I think it was last week, right, Dave? And I'm in total agreement with you, where you don't appreciate all the different kinds of jerseys. Like we were specifically talking about the NBA, right?
I resent it. I understand that it makes them a lot of money to have various jerseys you can sell, and I am resistant to it. I do guess I kind of get that if you don't love one, maybe tomorrow you'll see one you do, and so it's a chance to try to please everybody. These particular ones, my issue is fundamental. Soul, the Rams color, the gold that they wear is highlighter gold or yellow, and I don't care for it. And so it's hard for me to really vibe to any of these uniforms. The bones of it, though, if you made the color a little richer, the gold a little richer, I'd be all for both of these. I do think that by letting go the fearsome foursome red and white uniforms and ceding that to the Colts, it's weird to now jump back in decades later and declare, yeah, we're going to do that again. I know they kind of dabbled with that when they returned from St. Louis to LA. They did a little bit of that, but I think that ship should have sailed for them. How say you, Mike Ryan? It's a drip drill for us.
Yeah, I thought that they were also going to go with the look on the left, the fearsome foursome look, as their full-time look, because as you mentioned, when the St. Louis Rams came over and they were playing in the Coliseum, they had really downplayed the gold aspects of their uniform. The Ram horns on the helmet were often white, and it seemed like they were going in that direction. And then they went with like the classic when you close your eyes Rams look, which I think was a right idea. They have updated last year's set. It was probably a little too busy. Bone wasn't super popular of a color, and they made subtle tweaks to it. So all new uniforms for the Rams. Their main set, these alternates, again, it's pretty uncommon when a team rolls out two alternates. Last year, they had the rivalry set, which was like a midnight black type of color. They got a lot of cool looks. The Rams are a really cool
that black
team.
one was an atrocity, Mike. That black one with the blue and gold shoulders was a hideous look. What wasn't, though, is look at Dave. Dave's at the MoMA there looking at a Picasso. Again, fancy man. I know.
I see a couple Rams logos over there. The Rams can lay claim among the upper echelon of NFL team helmets. Right?
You think so?
It's a beautiful helmet.
It's good.
Whoa.
It's good.
They are the OG. I don't know if everybody knows that. They are the OG team to paint their helmet, to have the gall to go from the blank palette to putting that horn on there. They initiated all of this.
Really?
And so I honor that. I don't. It's the color. I mean, it's hard to. It doesn't. Here's the problem with the Rams getups. They don't compliment whoever they're playing. They don't look good against almost anybody, right, Mike? That's the value.
I just hard disagree. I'm a big kit clash type of guy. I like to turn on a team and see different colors on each side of the field.
If both are wearing colors, like it's arena football?
No. I like to see a kit clash, and I think like the white tops, gold bottoms look good against basically
because I hate
anyone.
that crushed jersey
and
bullshit.
That NFC West is usually good for some striking contrast, and I love contrast in a matchup.
Color crush. I don't do that.
Color clash, a kick clash. I think
clash.
I think you're.
Don't all uniforms clash?
No.
If
There's
not, they would be wearing the same
No, there's
colors.
some brutal matchups, dude. There's some brutal matchups.
I think he's
Bengals
talking
Browns
about
is a horrific watch. almost
Color
always.
rush, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The worst uniform matchup with standard getups. I mean, when you start getting into the alternates, nobody's going to look good playing against the Seahawks when they wear the head-to-toe neon green or anything like that. The worst one we've seen, I think what you're getting at, Mike, is when the Chiefs wore their red pants against Arizona, who wore their all red. Why
do that? You have the white pants in your locker room. Just put on the white pants. Give us a nice little kick clash.
Jeremy, I think I was mixing Candy Crush and
That's right.
And Color Rush.
Yes. And the Color Rush, by the way, the one I immediately think of is that incredible Thursday night football game between the Jaguars and the Titans.
Terrible.
When the Titans were in all light blue and the Jaguars were in all khaki.
Yeah.
That gold was awful.
These rules are pretty obvious. There needs to be a uniform commissioner. In the AFC West, we occasionally run into...
Needs to be. I appointed myself that 20 years ago.
Right, but
what are you talking about?
Let me give you an example. The Broncos wear orange at home. If the Chargers ever make the decision to wear their yellow pants at Mile High, why do that?
Crazy.
Give me a starker contrast.
I agree.
You have blue pants. You have the all-white look. But why are we going with colors that are way too similar? I hate this when teams that wear red play teams that wear orange. We run AFC West.
You know
as
what?
good as the NFC is, the AFC West is a difficult division.
What? No.
In terms of just contrast, Dave. In terms of just uniform contrast.
But we declared the AFC West 6 months ago.
Top
you
to
and
bottom.
me,
Yeah, top to
drill.
bottom, best
Maybe
individual
the best
looks.
uniforms.
Yes.
Right.
Top to bottom,
Different
great
conversation.
Yes, but I'm talking about when I sit down to watch a game, I like to be aesthetically pleased. last year we had the throwback Seahawk uniforms against the creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers, all whites. That game popped. It was a terrific game, but also part of what made that experience, whether it be subconscious or right out there in the open, was how beautiful it looked. Football can be a beautiful looking game.
Why people do this thing of like, I think it has to do with this fraudulent version of machismo. I don't look at uniforms. I don't know anything about uniforms. You don't. You have no opinion on which uniforms you like and don't. You stare at them for 3.5 hours, but it renders no verdict in your brain. You don't vibe to one or the other. It's funny you say, Mike, because they just announced, the Bucs did, that they are bringing back the creamsicles, the head-to-toe white, I should say.
Against the Chargers.
The retro. Against the Chargers, which is a bad move.
No, good potential.
Bad move.
The Chargers, do the Chargers have a throwback in their arsenal? Because they
No, but what they'll wear is, if they wear the blue jersey with and the white pants, it's going to be too much white.
What they can do.
Too much white.
You're probably not a fan of their all navy look, but they could go with that.
No. See, that's wrong.
I love the number font on that uniform.
They could also go all blue. Like all powder blue.
Yeah, they could go all powder blue. The good news is the creamsicle orange and all whites, they look spectacular. You have a built-in contrast, especially with that beautiful white shell and that fabulous.
What Mike is getting at is the ultimate, Mike, is, correct me if, well, at least in my opinion, the best matchup you can see. I'm not talking about the individual. Raiders have the best uniforms in the NFL, maybe in sports, against the Kansas City Chiefs. When they wear the white jersey and the red pants, you can't do better.
It's gorgeous. And while I'm not a fan of the Cowboys uniforms, I think they make very little sense. When you get 49ers Cowboys, especially in that 4 o'clock window, there's just something about it.
Zaz, are you lost in this conversation?
No,
Do you have no opinion about this?
I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm not lost. And I'll admit, I mean, those old 49ers Cowboys clashes, it reminds me of the 90s. Yeah. I like when they wear those
Bears,
uniforms.
Packers, Bears at home.
Yeah.
God, that looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm allowed to
the
just
teams that
listen.
the teams that look good against everybody. And then, not coincidentally, they have the best uniforms. The Niners, the Raiders, the Steelers,
yep.
The Colts. Yeah, I mean, those are your best. Those are the best uniforms.
Where are the
you've
Dolphins
got.
teal in this?
Well, they get in their own way. You know, I have my my moral issues with whoever decided, whatever it was 15 years ago, that they, you know, at a time when they're making movies about CT and otherwise, they took the helmet off that dolphin. Makes no goddamn sense.
Well,
I don't know what the thinking is there.
I feel,
but also the old ones are the best.
I feel pretty confident in saying this out there. There are enough context clues with what they've told retailers, with the fact that this design has been around a lot. My bold prediction is the current look of the Miami Dolphins, the current primary looks, this is the final season of that look.
You think so?
Yeah, they are going to retool their uniforms.
That's big. Well,
year.
retool, does that mean go back to what we all want?
Everybody wants that darker, richer teal color from the throwbacks. I'm not sure where they're going to go, but this current set with the lighter aqua color
and the logo,
I think all of that's getting revamped this offseason, this upcoming
We still need to get to the bottom of the mystery. Those are among the great uniforms and one of the great logos in sports. But who the Dolphin in the helmet? The helmet has an orange M on it. What team is he on? Because he's the logo for the Miami Dolphins, but he's not on the Dolphins. He plays for a team that has an orange M on the side of their hat.
He plays for Miami.
I have news. The Chargers have already announced what jersey they will be wearing against the Buccaneers when they wear the white creamsicle
full
jersey.
ensemble. The full ensemble.
The full ensemble. White helmet.
Okay.
Yellow top. White pants.
No, see, they botched that.
They ruined it.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? A yellow top against an all-white team.
So this
throw
is
up the uniform that Baker's wearing there. Look at that. Why would they pick that look? This is why we need a commissioner.
I do think this is the Charger Power set that they have, and I do think that what this is an alternate that they have that goes back to the 70s as well. So
but why would they pick the alternate that is hardest on the eyes to discern away from an all-white uniform?
I think thematically their whole premise is they're going with their most 70s look versus the Buccaneers' most 70s look. I don't disagree with you. I think that would be way better if
It's
they had
not
the
their
powder
most
blue top.
70s look. It's not their most 70s look. They should wear the powder blue.
That's right.
The gold pants, and that's as close as you're going to get to something that's palatable. They shouldn't have done the original sin is the Buccaneers deciding among whatever their options were to do it against the Chargers. They were set up to fail.
That's a huge disappointment right there.
Look at you, caring about contrast.
Yeah.
You've just been cucking this whole segment, Zaz.
How dare you? Jeremy, reminds me to ask you. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to be next week.
I will be at Camp Fiesta next week. That's the shirt that I'm wearing.
How about that?
I got to thank the audience.
Look
We
at
brought
him.
it up on Tuesday, and you guys have already donated almost $2,000 to Camp Fiesta. It's a 9-day sleepaway summer camp for children with cancer. If you go to campfiesta.com/donate, that's how you can donate. But I cannot thank you guys enough from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to be there. I'm so grateful, about as grateful as you guys are going to be that you don't have to listen to me long-windedly talk about the
No.
Marlins next week as we
We
approach
also
the
love
trade deadline.
Camp Fiesta
Yeah,
Week.
Camp
Yes,
Fiesta
that's
is a
true.
great cause. I believe in it. I've
Thank you.
donated to the cause, and our audience, while $2,000 is great, I'm a little disappointed. Our audience usually comes correct. So
Let's
please
get another
support
push.
this.
Come on.
No, thank you guys.
Tell everybody again. Let's get one final push.
Campfiesta.com/donate. Thank you.
Make sure you're not late. It's time for Zaslow's World Cuck Update.
I mean, I don't know what that was. Trying to do a World Cup update. What the hell are you doing there? I do have a few more things I want to say, Dan, as far as the World Cup is concerned. Now, because yesterday was the final round of 16 game. You know what comes next? You know what's next after round of 16?
I cannot believe how electric this World Cup has been.
It really has
So
been.
good.
All the we finally have the good matches that give life to this being one of the greatest tournaments of all time. We were missing those bangers, and Argentina in back-to-back matches give us instant classic after instant
The
classic.
Cabo Verde game was insane.
Against all-time African underdogs. They run up against the greatest player at the tail end of his career, still having enough for one last
Mike,
job.
let me tell you what, that 13 on Cabo, what a shot.
This is
Shot of the
incredible.
tournament.
A
Did you see it
world-
bend?
And how about those
Did you see
It
it
was
bend,
a
Dan?
literal movie.
It was crazy.
He runs into the sand,
Gets
finds
over.
his lady.
Boom.
That's how you end the movie, folks. That is
He was looking, and
unbelievable.
the security was like, no, go back. And he's like,
That's
no,
love.
no, where is she?
That's love right there.
She's got to know also to come down the stairs. What are you doing?
I'm the one who's doing this.
Your second topic, Zaz. Do you have another World Cuck topic?
Well, I'll tell you what. All right, I don't know why you're saying it like that. But anyway, I have other things that I want to talk about. You know what? You can't take this away from me. I don't know if you saw this past Monday night.
CM Punk returns to WWE. After months away and all sorts of rumor and innuendo, he's not on the right side with TKO. Comes back in his hometown of Chicago and beats Sami Zayn, whose title reign lasts about a week. Much fanfare in Chicago.
CM Punk related to Daft Punk at all?
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but CM
Daft Punk's good, though.
Not unlike Messi, later in his career, finding top form, his body looking incredible. You know what this might set up? Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk at SummerSlam.
Greg Cody Rhodes.
I'm going to SummerSlam. I want to talk about this.
Well done, Jeremy.
Your third topic, Zaslow,
gotten a
of
laugh.
this World Cuck update.
You know what? Actually, I'll allow you to call it that here because there's a movie that just came out that I want to watch. It's by our pal Billy Corbin. It's called God
That's
Forbid.
not just coming out. It's
5
the
years
most
ago.
popular documentary in the history
It
of Hulu.
just came out.
No, I mean,
Dan,
it was
you saw the
several
movie.
years
What did
ago.
you think?
It was excellent. It
Yeah,
was,
why don't you have a turn here?
It went.
You got a pre-screening?
It went deeper into religious power and cuckery than I've ever seen a documentary. I didn't get an advanced
How
screening.
cliche, a pool boy.
This movie, and distinctly Cuban pool boy. Like, just not actually a pool man, a very pool boy. A Cuban kid who's not fully grown up, who was having sex with the wife of Jerry Falwell's sons, the president of Liberty University, his wife, and he liked to watch it in a corner of the room while he was wearing very little clothing.
This is why it's called World Cup.
All right, get back in this seat here. Get back in the seat here that is a prominently featured seat. That concludes our first ever World Cuck update. Excellent work by you.
I saw the new He-Man movie. Oh my God.
You've mentioned that.
Oh my God. I think it's the greatest cartoon to movie adaptation ever. I was so worried. I was a huge He-Man fan. Of course, I'm a kid of the 80s, all right? I was a huge He-Man fan. I had all the toys. And 40 years ago, 39 to be exact, 40 years ago, Masters of the Universe starring Dolph Lundgren came out in theaters. I had the flu. I was 6 years old and I had the flu. Didn't matter. I told my dad, we're going to see Masters of the Universe. I won't cough on you, I promise. And we went to go see Masters of the Universe because I love He-Man. And 40 years later, this movie's out. And I told my son I'm going to take him. He's 14 years old. He doesn't have a clue about He-Man. He knows nothing. I'm like, you're coming with me, okay? I took him, and my 20-year-old cousin is staying with us also this week. He doesn't know shit about He-Man either. He's Canadian. I don't even know if they have TV there. So I take him and my son. We go see He-Man a couple days ago. And I was worried about this movie because you look at the trailer, I'm like, I don't know. It looks corny. You know, I don't know if this movie's going to be any good. I'm worried. I'm worried about this movie. And I see the Rotten Tomatoes scores, and I had friends texting me a few days ago, have you seen He-Man yet? And I'm like, no, I'm going to see that. You're going to love it. And the Rotten Tomatoes scores are very high. The reviews are very, very good. And if I could tell you how much I loved this movie, it is so good. If you're a child of the 80s, like me, if you loved He-Man, who was my absolute favorite, you're going to love this movie. And dare I say...
What is this, an ad?
Dare I say, Jared Leto, who's a terrible actor, does terrible films, he's awful. Jared Leto.
Famously give awards to terrible actors.
He's terrible.
I'm with you, though, lately.
Jared Leto.
Cold streak.
Is phenomenal as Skeletor. Incredible. He nails it. He's great as Skeletor. Anyway, I love this movie so much. Everything you want, it has. And it got me thinking, all right? I got a top 5 for your asses today. You ready for this?
It's for my ass.
Top 5 for your asses today. I got a top 5. It is top 5 all-time 80s cartoon villains.
How are they all time if it's just
all time? Top 5 all-time 80s cartoon villains. You ready?
So ready.
So a very passionate discussion, Dave, from the shipping container here over the last couple of minutes. And I think Dave is the one who would have the answer, Chris Cody.
Dave, we're debating back here which day of the week people, not just like us in here, just people in general are most likely to, get down and dirty, have a little sexy time. Which day of the week would you say is the most common for sex, and which would be the least? If we were ranking all the days, what would be the least?
You want us to rank 1 through 7?
We can.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
wow.
Go ahead, Dave.
Well, I start by saying I think we live in a society. I'm one of my text chains, one of my many text chains. A guy makes the recurring joke like it's your birthday, like, oh, you know what that means? It's your one time, not in coitus.
Everybody knows.
Okay, and I think that's a lame joke. And I hope that's not the reality for most fellas out there, that it's some sort of like Ray Romano. Everybody loves Ray Romano. Was like half the show, which was it was a great show, but half the show was devoted to him trying to coerce via language, obviously, his wife into making sweet love. Weird. Is that the reality for most people? But if that is the way a lot of people live, Saturday night's got to be it, right?
It's always the opposite dynamic in Married with Children, right? Peg was always trying to get Al to have sex. He never wanted to.
I also voted Saturday. They were saying in here Friday, kick the weekend off right. I think it's Saturday. And people are working on Friday. Saturday you have all day.
I think it's Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's Sunday night.
Showing your cards.
And ironically, I think the least would be hump day.
How am I showing my cards?
Because of the conviction that you had about Sundays.
Right, but but what does that mean? So
I think you predominantly have sex on Sundays. Like, it's a thing.
It's the co-host chair, man.
Well, it's a thing, but also that doesn't mean that other days are off limits.
This might be too invasive, but do you have like a set day where like it's at a 90% clip?
Come on. No,
it's just spontaneity?
Well, I mean, I prefer it to be spontaneous, but I feel like Sunday is the night that it most likely happens.
Okay.
The other nights, there will be spontaneity involved. Doesn't mean it won't happen.
When you got your finest Roman Reigns on.
Yeah. You know, like if I'm in the finest mood, all right? Because she's always in the mood. I got to be in the mood. All right, if I'm in the mood,
yeah.
Really? Oh, she's always in the mood.
Whoa, the opposite for me.
Come on, look at this.
Saturday night's main event's running long.
Right.
Not right now.
Yeah, it's like I was waiting for you to come to bed. I'm like SmackDown.
Gotta find out what Obafemi is gonna do.
I'm watching my stories. Come on, you know. So.
Gave up
the Dolphins covered. Let's do it.
I go Sunday. The best night. I think Sunday's the best night. And close the weekend with a bang. You know what I'm saying?
Is it impacted by whether or not the Dolphins win?
No. Dolphins.
If it's Sunday night for you.
No, Dolphins have nothing to do with it.
You got a tough season coming up.
No,
now.
Dolphins have nothing to do with it. A couple things do have something to do with it.
Come on, Malik Willis. It's been months for me.
Can I throw out a suggestion for the people?
Was that your Bill Simmons?
No, I don't know what that. I thought that was a Zaz. I'm not sure.
Pretty sure that was your Bill Simmons.
A little tip for the people. No pun intended. Saturday mornings.
Tip for the people.
A tip.
Tip for the missus.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, but I mean, you're at an age where you need to make sure your child is not.
That's a big part of the
running around the house.
A huge part of the equation.
Yeah. Like so, it's only certain
like
circumstances.
This age group where I'm at, like 6 to 10, is that a big morning time for people? Like when your kid is that
you got to
age?
be careful because they'll just come running in the door,
Yeah, they
man.
will.
Like for
your
us,
14-year-old son will just be like, "Papa."
No. For us, I mean,
there's nothing like
the
panic.
pitter-patter of
nothing
a
like
16-year-old boy running down the hall.
Nothing like the panic of that locked door being tried to open.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're
coming.
We're
Zaz,
naked.
You have multiple children. Have you been? Because the story usually goes like, "Oh my God, one time when I was 11, I walked in." Has that happened to you?
No.
As a lovemaker?
No, like it's happened where they've kind of rattled the door. What? Why is the door locked? You know, like that's happened a couple of times.
It's backlash.
We're having a meeting.
Now, another question here. When you guys were kids, did you ever, hear your parents?
I don't want to talk about this.
Oh. Okay. So yes.
Survivor Series.
We've all been there. Tony's been there.
It's a horrible conversation.
I've been everywhere, man.
King of the Ring.
That's right. I think Sunday is the most likely. I think least likely I feel is like Tuesday. Tuesday feels like a bad day. Maybe even Monday. Monday's kind of bad too.
Yeah, but Monday you're feeling like this is Monday. I need something here.
There's no Monday Night Football for a good chunk of the season.
Yeah.
Come on. I kind of need Algie Crumpler to score one in the back of the red zone to complete this comeback.
Also, another factor that I have experienced, my wife works from home a couple days a week. That's become a nice.
That is good. That a little afternoon delight.
That
is good. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Speaking of which, Micah Parsons, Green Bay Packers linebacker, almost said Cowboys. Green Bay Packers pass rusher, Micah Parsons. He revealed was this on his podcast or was this, it looks like that it's with Bryant McFadden, right? The All Things Covered podcast. And so Micah Parsons revealed what he's really into. Give this a listen.
All right, last question. Weirdest thing about you that few people know?
I have a foot fetish.
A foot fetish?
Yeah.
You like toes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it caught Bryant off guard there. Just straight. Now, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking feet, liking toes, but he was very matter of fact, very confident, like almost if he's been waiting for someone to ask him so he could reveal this thing that he loves and share it with the world.
Roy also revealed before the show that he's in that same camp.
Roy did not do that.
You did that, Roy?
No, I did not.
Well,
I did not say that at all.
He's been very publicly anti-men feet.
Yes.
But, he's very specific there. That implies...
Not at all. I am with Roy 100%. We park our cars in the same garage. Men should not be walking around. Women do a lot, to be more appealing to us. They wear bras that are uncomfortable. They wear high heels and everything else. The least we can do is not show our feet. Ugh.
How close do you have to be with your friend? You're going over to their house. You're watching football. Maybe you're just hanging out, whatever, to actually hang out without shoes or socks on.
Ugh. I've been violated in what you're describing. One time my wife invited two of her friends over to the house with their husbands and their kids, and they were running around in the backyard and otherwise, but it was March Madness. And so, of course, I had the TV on in my little side room, and they joined me in there. Fine, that's great. You see it. It's made to watch sports in. And I left the room. These two guys are strangers to me. I don't know either one of them. I come back into the room of my home. On my couch, this guy who was wearing those little short socks, the little ankle socks, whatever you call them, had taken off his sneakers and his socks. Who goes into another man's home and takes off his stinking socks? And I'm not exaggerating. He did the one knee up on the couch, so his bare foot was on my couch. I didn't sit on that couch for the next 3 months.
His foot lay bare
on my couch, a stranger's couch. Who would do? Who has the gall to think that that's acceptable behavior?
Dave, is there a pool at your house?
No.
Okay, so that's one thing I would say. Like, if you're going to the pool, you're going to be without socks.
Obviously.
Like, that's an obvious thing. But maybe we'll come inside, watch a little bit of the game, go back out to the pool. Depends on what it is.
I don't care for it. I don't know who these people think they are, that the world belongs to them, that they take their bare stinking feet out on a plane and prop them up on
the plane.
Stuff. Well, the problem is too now, because I've complained about this publicly for many years, and I've actually tried to curb it until today, because I hate it so much that people will now send me pictures like, look at what I have to deal with, Dave. I know this is going to drive you crazy. It's the, hey, oh, this tastes terrible. Here, you taste it kind of thing. Like, why do I have to now because I've tried to better society by calling these people out. Now I have to receive images proving that people aren't listening to me. Makes me sick.
I don't understand. Like, I can understand taking off your shoes in someone's house, but if you have socks on, why would you then also take the socks off?
Wanted to air the puppies out.
Man, all right. That's very disgusting.
So I'm a no shoe home, right? So if you get to the front door of my house, I don't want your shoes in my house. I have a baby crawling around.
Okay.
It's respectful to ask.
It is respectful to ask.
Shoes on, shoes off.
I always have the shoes at the front of the door so everybody can see, hey, we got a baby crawling. I don't know where you been, buddy. So take off your shoes. Sometimes people have socks on, some people don't.
Gotta eat a peck of dirt before you die.
Them's the breaks.
So back to the original question. How close do you have to be with homeboy to walk around his house without wearing socks on?
Pool or no pool?
No pool.
That means I got to the house, I had socks on because I wear sneakers, I don't wear sandals, and then I took said socks off.
This is a weird question because I have friends that I would be comfortable enough with to do this, but I've never done it, so I can't speak and say I would do. But I have friends that'd be like, I'll take my shoes off of your house. And socks.
People would think there's something wrong with you. I would. That's my assumption. You must have some medical condition
because it might
requires you to take your socks off.
I'm putting the socks back
somebody
on.
else's home,
and I'm putting them back on to leave.
Yeah, to leave.
It's a weird,
yeah, that's weird.
Generally, if I take socks off, they're not going back on my feet unless they get cleaned.
What if you have no socks on when somebody comes over your house? Do you feel inclined to put socks on?
Yes.
Yeah, really? Yeah. You're home.
And by the way, somehow this adds up for a lot of people when I talk about this. People say, "Oh, then you must be ashamed of your feet." No, Not at all.
Let's
not
see
at
those
all. I just don't think
Let
it's
me see.
appropriate.
Let me see those
Oh,
I don't
no,
think
let's
it's
not.
appropriate.
Let's not see those things.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Roy, for
see that
bringing
arch.
some sense to this conversation.
Dave, you could sidebar with Chris Cody and send him your feet pictures. Okay, we don't have to do it on the show.
Sure. Make sure to catch the arch.
Yeah. We have a new segment that we are going to debut. Tony, can you explain to everybody what this new segment is? Very exciting.
It's a great segment. Me and Chris saw a video, and both of us looked over at each other and said a specific phrase, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, my God, Eureka. We're going to create a segment that says this exact phrase. So it's videos that we've seen that make dudes go, hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so things that make us say, things
Hell
that make
yeah.
guys say, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's, okay, what do you got for us?
So let's put the video up. Steven Adams.
Which, right,
Houston
sometimes
Rocket.
sometimes just him will make you say hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But he's carrying a massive
yeah.
20-foot log over his shoulder
Hell
at the
yeah.
beach
Hell
somewhere
yeah.
as for training or whatever, but he's just got one arm
Hell
over
yeah.
it as it goes 10 feet in each
Oh,
direction.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just makes
Oh,
you say
hell
hell
yeah.
yeah. Dude, look at this guy.
He's like
yeah.
doing half a torture rack to a tree.
To
Oh,
a
hell
tree
yeah.
and just holding it there, just
Hell
walking.
yeah.
He's
Hell yeah.
the
The
strongest
beach.
guy ever.
Hey,
dude.
guys, it's not
Hell
easy
yeah.
to walk on the beach.
Look at that. Boom.
Hell yeah.
And he's setting it up. All right, boom, done.
Hell yeah.
And you see when it hits the sand, it's heavy. It's not like one of those flimsy branches that kind of hit there and
Hell
whatever.
yeah.
What's
That
he up
thing
to?
hit the sand.
What's he
Hell
up
yeah.
to?
Maybe a beach cleanup of some sort.
Hell yeah.
No, like, look, the other guy has
Yeah,
a hatchet
building
in
something,
hand.
yeah.
Do you think this is a beach cleanup, or do you think
Hell
they're
yeah.
Oh, maybe they're making one of those big canoes that you put the bar on the side to get to
What's
help
the
you
Disney
out.
movie?
Oh,
where
hell
they-
yeah.
Where's the Disney movie where they shipwreck and they build a whole like
Castaway?
Swiss Family Robinson? Maybe they're doing something like that.
Hell yeah.
But they built a
yeah.
treehouse though.
They have a cell phone though. Seems,
Oh, hell yeah.
seems like they'll be okay.
Hell no.
Chris, if you were shipwrecked, would you be able to build yourself a raft?
A
no.
raft?
Just something to get out of there on.
I would try, but I would lean towards hell no. Do you think you'd be able to start a fire? That's another thing.
Hell yeah.
Give me 2 pieces of wood. I think we should do one time. We put 2 people with 2 little sticks and see who starts a fire first. I know it's hard because the wood's wet.
I'm not gonna do
It's
that.
harder than that.
I'm not gonna do that.
But I've seen Tom Hanks do it. You get the little spindle. You got to need a little something that'll catch, and you give a little blow.
You'll keep yourself alive
You go
because
really hard.
you
A lot
watch
of friction.
Castaway.
A lot of friction. A little blowing, because it needs oxygen.
He's right about that. It does need oxygen.
You think it would blow? You think natural thinking would be if I blow on it, it's gonna go out. No. It needs a little oxygen. So it's a little soft blow.
He's right about
and
that.
a
Hell
lot
yeah.
of friction. You think it's not like a big space you're covering. You're trying to work on one little area. You just want a little thing of smoke. See, I've seen Castaway.
Mike, I failed everyone today when I admitted last night you gave me an assignment, a double feature, to watch The Coffee Table and watch The Lighthouse, neither of which I was able to get through. I got through about 30-plus minutes of The Coffee Table. I can't sit through this anymore. And I got through almost an hour, I would say, of The Lighthouse. And I had enough. I had enough.
You're right there with the lighthouse.
Maybe
where-
I'll finish it today. Maybe I don't know. I can't predict the future.
Watch
Maybe
it
I'll
every
finish-
Christmas.
Zaz, do you would you describe yourself as somebody who likes what I think Mike earlier described as sort of art house fare?
Are you talking about like the smaller studios, like the independent?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah,
Indie movies,
usually, yes.
You
yes.
enjoy those kind of movies.
Yeah, like when I
Okay.
saw that The Lighthouse was $8.24, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna like this movie.
Okay, I'm just curious. Are you more like, because to me, based on the movies you celebrate, it seems like summer blockbuster is your
Yeah,
wheel.
You're a big studio guy.
No, I like. Hey, you know I love horror movies, and all the good horror movies nowadays are the smaller studios.
Yeah, Blumhouse.
True.
Yeah, Blumhouse. Yep, I like Blumhouse. And A24. Yeah, I like all that.
Well,
Anyway, I failed last night.
you did.
I couldn't get through a couple of movies, but did you come through on
I
your
did.
end?
I have this working suspicion that you're paid by Masters of the Universe. You put out like an IG post. You put out a tile saying like available on streaming now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I want everybody to like the thing that I like.
Yeah, but like not an IG story, an IG post.
I got messages from people yesterday on
programming.
Facebook. I got messages from fans of the Dan Le Batard Show who said, per Zaslow's recommendation, I watched Masters of the Universe tonight, and I loved it.
I finished it with my daughter over the course of 2 days. We watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was light.
So over the course of 2 days, like you stopped and then you picked it back up. Did you have to remind yourself what part of the story you were at, or were you able to pick it right back up?
I think my brain was able to handle the 24-hour break.
Okay.
I didn't need a refresher.
Okay.
But it was fun. It didn't take itself seriously. The Skeletor character was nailed. I love that they didn't actually show Jared Leto. I could barely tell.
He's poison.
Yeah, Jared Leto just reminds you of bad things. But I thought it was well made. I thought it was fun. I thought it was pretty to look at.
The music was fantastic.
Yeah, although I did have an issue with one of the songs that they played. They played Queen's Princes of the Universe, and that's Highlander canon.
Well, doesn't Brian May do the whole soundtrack, I think, for the movie?
But I don't like that. Princes of the Universe is he needs to know better. That's Highlander canon.
Oh, really?
You
I don't
don't.
know.
That's not He-Man's. That's Highlanders. You don't take Princes of the Universe.
Oh, I'm not sure I even know what song you're referring to there, then.
Here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe.
Oh, well, I never saw Highlander. Whatever, man.
You never saw the syndicated show Highlander?
No, I don't care about Highlander. No.
With Adrian Paul?
Yeah, you don't have to
Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
You don't have to name the actors. I never saw it. I don't care.
Greetings, Highlander. You've got to see Highlander,
No,
man.
I don't have
Highlander's
to.
great. And then they have Highlander Endgame, where Christopher
No, it's
Lambert's...
Avengers Endgame.
No, Highlander Endgame, where Christopher Lambert's Highlander and Adrian Paul's Highlander finally have a clash. Man, and you know who's going to be in the retelling of Highlander? They're rebooting that franchise. It's a team behind the John Wick franchise. Henry Cavill is going to be a Highlander. Batista is in it. And also Drew McIntyre.
Ooh.
He's also going to be in Highlander.
I met Batista at a Pearl Jam concert.
What do you say?
He said, show was fucking awesome, is what he said. And I said, fucking
Was
right.
he big or was he thin?
He must have gone to the Friday show.
No, it was the Saturday show. It was the Saturday show. He loved it. It was great.
Why would Micah Parsons say that into a microphone on purpose? There are things that happen that you'll just always associate them with, as if Rex Ryan, however many years later, that isn't in the first paragraph of his bio that plays in your head. There was a kid named Chip in 7th grade who I remember he raised his hand in class, and the teacher called on him, and he said, I think I have to throw up. And the teacher said, don't ask, man, just go. And Chip got up, and it was too late, and he puked right there in the aisle between the desks. And I remember saying at lunch that day, to the gathered gang, no matter if this guy goes on to be the president of the United States, we'll always think about him throwing up. And it's true. Now I'll never not think about Micah Parsons and his foot fetish. Congratulations.
There's other things. Look into his time at Penn State. Not a lot of people know that stuff. But all in all, Masters of the Universe, thank you for the recommendation. I would not have prioritized it the way that I did. I did hang around for the post-credits thing.
Oh, yes.
There was one thing. I told you my dog was named Shira, so I was the entire time I was looking for Shira.
Adora. That's right.
I'm going to check it out tonight.
Good.
I've said it 3 nights in a row.
Whatever.
I'll check it out.
I think you're going to enjoy it. I like when people enjoy things that I enjoy.
Do you think it did well enough? Or is that you want to see a sequel, and that's why you're posting on your IG?
That is part of it.
Yeah, you want to see a sequel.
Yeah, that is part of it.
Let's continue the story. Because I don't know if it made money at the box office.
No, it didn't. It technically flopped at the box office.
A Jared Leto film flopped at the box office?
But my guess is that it'll do big number streaming. I think it'll do really big numbers.
If you have anything to say about it.
Well, I got 50,000 followers. I'm going to try. Try and get everybody on board.
Sheep Detectives, delightful.
That was great. Also,
movie.
Same actor. The actor that portrays He-Man is in Sheep Detectives.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, right? That's what
I'm not going to give
at?
away. I'm not going to give away
Okay,
his
but
role in Sheep
that's
Detectives.
He-Man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He works for a newspaper. He's covering the fest, the cultural fest in the town.
That was funny when you pull up to the cultural fest and you see what it is.
Yeah,
and you're like,
he had questions, but
good.
he's really good in He-Man. Charm, pitch
Mike,
perfect.
when he first, gets the power of Grayskull, come on, that's a great scene.
No, it was great. The cameo that's in it, as someone that grew up watching the old Masters of the Universe film, like I popped for that.
What a
it was
movie.
great. It reminded me of my watching the cartoon when I was a little kid, and I love how they approach some of the ridiculous names.
Right, that was creative, right?
Yeah, it was really creative, and
Idris Elba was great in the movie.
Why is Skeletor bad? He's got a skull for a face. Come on, of course.
Skeletor was so mean to Evelyn.
Yeah, there was one point in the film.
Now,
where
was that Brie Olsen or Allison Brie?
That was definitely Allison Brie.
All right, I get the names mixed up. I don't know. I can never remember.
the chat was kind of trolling me for my attempt at starting a fire, and they're having a debate on who in this room of us and our crew would be best and worst to be stranded on an island with. Roy's getting a lot of votes for.
I would say Roy's
worst?
the best.
Oh, for
no,
best.
no. Why?
Whoa, Zaz.
Bad week for you, dude.
I'm asking.
Bad week. For you.
I've been voting. I think
like
I'd be
that.
a great number 2 man.
I don't like how you said Roy.
If I have somebody that really knows what they're doing, I can be like, oh, what do you need? Need some wood? I'm run out and get it. Like, I could be a good number 2 out there. If I'm number 1, I think we're in trouble. But I think I could help out as like a good, hey, we need to build this, hey, hold this up. I could be a good spotter. I think I'd be a great number 2 out there.
I'm the worst.
Chris is the one we eat.
That's fair.
You'd be the worst, Zaz? I think that would be a heated competition between you and me. You and me would be
not
the first
surprising
ones
because what do you and I have in common?
Jeremy couldn't be great.
Not surprising. I would be terrible.
Hebrewites.
Yep, I can't do anything. I'd
So
be
the
terrible.
3 of us.
Yeah, 3 of us, I guess. Yeah. It is what it is.
We're staying out of that one. You guys talk.
I could see Tony pulling a Steven Adams.
I carry a
all of
log
sudden
over
he's
my
walking back
shoulder,
with
yeah.
a log. Like,
Like, hey, I got
help.
this.
I've got brute strength to offer up. I could
tall,
help.
You're tall. You could help tie something up. Like,
yeah, I could do that, but I'm not overly confident in my ability to start a fire.
Yeah.
I'd die pretty quickly.
I don't stand a chance. I can't do anything.
Do I have the sniffles?
I've once caught a salmon with my bare hand.
I think I would pretty immediately just try to figure out how is the least painful way I can die.
I want to get out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah, how do I get out of here and die without having to drown to do it? Maybe poison berries, if I can find those somewhere.
All right. Dave, it is your time to shine. This is the moment in the Friday show where we pit cast members against each other. Dave, do we have an episode of TNT today?
We do. Au contraire, though, it is not my time to shine. I'm merely putting the ball on the tee, and we'll see who can smack it. Is it Taché or is it Tony? It's time for another edition of TNT.
I'm sweating.
Mr. Lister style. I should tell you, we have a new episode of Football America posting. It may already have posted here. We played a little TNT because, as you have heard, pro football players are on their way to training camp. It's time for the fans to get to training camp, too. I wanted a little refresher. We talked about NFL playoff teams from 2025. No spoilers here. Somebody embarrassed themselves there. But that's in the rearview mirror. Today, the subject is movies, specifically Harrison Ford movies. Tony,
great.
you go first. Harrison Ford movies will trade back and forth until one of you cannot come up with an answer.
Can we actually,
Tony,
Dave, before we get to today's edition, can we relive the moment from Football America where?
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah, let's take a look at this.
We're gonna have to impose a timer on this.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a pitch
ridiculous.
clock,
This
if
is a
you will.
disgrace.
It really is.
All right, I'm
Pass.
Buddy Badal.
Pass.
I'm
That's a
a
loss.
man.
I went first. You got to get one.
That's a loss.
Hold on a second.
Did he just say pass?
He said pass.
Yeah,
pass
you get
goes
one.
back to you.
Pass the ball to me.
So
Get one.
That's an L. That's a Tony's on the board. Tony gets the
I
first
went
point.
first.
No,
Doesn't he have to get one?
Okay, but Tony then at least has to come up with one.
Yeah. You got for the win.
What an embarrassment.
for the
Pass.
win. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
It's
shocked.
the quarterback league, and he just passed.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was wrong still.
It's San Francisco.
Damn it.
Yes, the
Damn it.
49ers.
Jeremy, what happened there?
Comedy.
Oh, okay.
Comedy?
He's claiming
No,
he
it
did
was
on
terrible.
purpose,
Yeah,
Dave.
I had nothing left. I hoped Tony also would fail. I was panicking. This, for whatever reason, this particular quiz competition makes me sweat. I think it's because normally I'm squaring off against Chris in baseball trivia, so I feel like it's a more even fight. But I don't know anything that Dave's ever talking about. And so I don't know anything about football.
Fair.
I've made it abundantly
the most
clear.
recent list of NFL playoff teams. I can understand how that's challenging.
You know what, man? Let's be real. I already don't talk that much as I normally would.
You don't
Are
like
you
football?
about to say you don't watch the NFL?
You don't watch the NFL?
No, I care more about my fantasy team than I care about anything else. And my job here, when we're in football season, is to find stats about the teams
What are you doing, dude? No,
Dude, I'm just embarrassing myself, okay?
Yeah, no.
I was embarrassed.
Just say I stink.
I didn't have anything left.
Are you trying?
Let's do the Harrison Ford
All
movie.
right,
My job here
Indiana
is to
Jones and
not-
the Last
not
Crusade.
pay attention to the NFL.
Okay, but by the way, just for the record, like you don't know what Dave's talking about. If anything is broken through, the thing that might have broken through is that Dave's from Pittsburgh and cares about the football team there. That's one Taché did not get.
Yeah,
he
you're
didn't
right.
get that the Steelers went. That
I did. I
outrageous.
forgot the Steelers are in the playoffs. I'm going to be honest. That team stinks.
I have to keep stats on these NFL teams, like their records, as a for instance, and which ones are good enough to get to the playoffs. All right, so you said which one there, Tony?
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. We're off and running.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
I don't like that these guys are looking.
He's
down
got
at
the chat.
computers.
He's got the
I mean,
chat
geez.
open on the on, and he just looked at it and said
there you
Raiders
go.
of the Lost Ark.
Come on, Taché. Come
I
on.
wasn't. I promise I wasn't looking at the chat.
I believe
promise.
Jeremy.
I promise.
Crazy.
You're up, Tone.
Okay. Let's do Star Wars
Which one?
Okay.
episode.
No, you can't
No,
do which
no,
one,
no,
so we're
no,
all
no,
naming
no,
Star
We
Wars.
just
no,
did
no.
different Indiana Jones movies. What do you mean?
Star Wars is the proper name of that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the
bullshit.
original movie
The original
is named
one, thank
Star
you.
Wars.
Okay, so then Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Indiana Jones. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh my God. I don't understand how people's brains work. Why wouldn't you take away when you're in a run of Star Wars movies?
Return
why
of the
wouldn't you
Jedi.
take away- Right. Now you make it easy for Taché.
Yeah, that's fine. I always win. I want to have some sort of like
All right,
back and
all right,
forth
all
with
right,
him.
all
He's
right.
Playing with
He
his
gave
food.
me a pass last
All right,
time.
let's just relax.
Temple of Doom.
The Fugitive.
There's no way Jeremy's seen The Fugitive.
I know The Fugitive.
There's
Have you-
no way he's seen The Fugitive.
If he has cable television, he's
I've
flipped
seen.
past
Yes,
AMC.
exactly.
It's on AMC.
I
like,
know The Fugitive.
once a day.
There's no way he knows The Fugitive.
I
mostly-
don't care. That's my impression of Bill Simmons.
Tony?
I like movies.
Let's do. He was in Blade Runner.
Yep.
He was.
Is that Blade Runner? Isn't Jack Ryan? Is it?
Nope.
No.
So
Oh my
whatever the
God.
Jack Ryan movie is.
Hey, what's the
That
name of
doesn't
it?
count.
Can't.
What society have you been living in for the last quarter century?
One where I don't watch all of the Harrison
Jack
Ford
Ryan.
movies.
You are younger.
I'm 30
so you
years
miss-
old.
But some of these are,
I most
part of the,
recently watched him
the
in Shrinking.
classic American film book.
You can't name a Jack Ryan movie?
No, Jack Ryan. Isn't that what it's called?
No, that's a
John
fake one.
Krasinski, right?
That's a dude from The Office.
Yeah.
Imagine going from Harrison Ford to John Krasinski. I
Yeah, it's
can't.
really not a good move.
Okay, what's your favorite sport, Taché? Baseball, right?
Oh yeah, he plays Branch Rickey in 42.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Tony. He needs help apparently.
Get off my plane.
That's not the name of
Not
it.
Air
the title.
Force One.
All
Movie is
right, there you
definitely
go. That's
not
much
called
better.
Get Off My
No,
Plane.
but we had a sounder that would say "Get off my
Yeah,
plane."
but he said Air Force.
No, that was
One.
well done. That was
He got
very
it.
good.
Gary Oldman ass off in that picture.
Mm.
Great flick.
Yep.
What Tony did was actually like the wiener eating guy who eats the most hot dogs. He whatever, I forget his name.
The wiener eating.
Joey Chestnut.
Kobayashi.
Chestnut, I've encouraged him multiple times and he has not taken my counsel. I said, like, if you really want to stick it to your competition before it even starts, order a thick shake and some fries on the side. That'll intimidate them. Not only did Tony just name a movie, he quoted it. Taché is overmatched here, but he's up nevertheless. Take your shot.
Pass.
Oh man.
Embarrassment.
I got nothing, man. I don't watch.
You have
all of
no
these movies.
idea.
I'll
You
end
can't
it.
come
You
up
want me
with
to end
any
it?
more.
No, I'm panicked.
There was another Indiana Jones movie, another Star Wars movie you didn't mention, Patriot Games.
There's the Jack
yeah.
Ryan movie.
Great movie.
Sorry, man.
Clear and present danger.
Good job, Tony.
Yeah. Are you familiar with how Air Force One stopped Joe Sakic from signing with the New York Rangers?
No, I'm not. Would you like to tell me the story?
There was a whole documentary on it that one of the producers behind Air Force One kind of needed that to be a box office success, and that's how Joe Sakic got the biggest contract.
All right, I'll watch that documentary and then all of the Harrison Ford movies.
Air Force One's a good movie. Didn't it come out like the same time? It was Air Force One and Executive Decision.
Executive Decision was great. There's a surprise in that.
Yup.
All right.
Yep.
Spoiler alert on Executive Decision.
Yep.
What year?
We won't do it for coffee table.
We won't do it for coffee table because it's like, but if you see
Executive Decision truly shocking in the first 30
very
minutes of the movie.
shocking because you got Kurt Russell there.
Yep.
I believe John Leguizamo's in this
Yep,
cast,
that's
and
right.
all over the trailer, you're like, wow.
1996.
Kurt Russell, it's a great flick. And
Very
Steven Seagal decided
Yep.
to team up for this incredible movie. And Steven Seagal gets killed off like right away.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and this was
Very
like
early in
when
the movie.
Steven Seagal had juice.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a shock. You're watching the movie and figure this is a main character, Steven Seagal. Because we're talking Under Siege.
Didn't he get sucked out?
Yeah.
Sucked
yeah.
out.
I think he kind of sacrificed himself.
Yeah, but it was a surprise. Like, well, that's a big movie star over there.
Huge surprise. Along the same lines as when Optimus Prime dies in the Transformers movie very early on. It's very shocking.
The age
How
of
about this?
Adeline.
Harrison Ford, if you were an actor and you got the role of, by the way, he's in Apocalypse Now before you know who he is in one scene, the conversation, he is magnetic for whatever reason. If you've not seen that, make sure you go and check that one out. But he arrives with Star Wars. And if you were an actor and you got to play Han Solo or Dr. Indiana Jones or Rick Deckard, your career would be made. You would get to play one of the most iconic, cool characters of all time. He played all three. Not only that, here's Harrison Ford's run. There's no run, uninterrupted streak in movie history like this.
Tom Hanks.
Empire Strikes. No. Don't shout things out, Taché. If you can't back it up.
You go.
Let him do
Empire
his.
Strikes Back.
You don't know
Empire
shit
Strikes
about
Back.
movies.
Don't know shit, Jeremy.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Blade Runner. He plays those three characters in consecutive movies. It's crazy. Then Return of the Jedi, then Temple of Doom, then John Book in Witness, where he makes his love on an Amish lady. Oh my God! What a
In
run.
defense of Jeremy Taché, it was pretty quick of him to rattle off Tom Hanks because Tom Hanks had that incredible run.
He has a
too.
ridiculous run.
Yeah, Tom
It's
Hanks
a great
is
run, but also Working Girl. He's great in that.
I think
movie.
Tom Hanks'
Regarding
run was
Henry is
better.
Terrible.
I think Tom Hanks' run was better, and also Nick Cage '97.
What do you have an idea? His face? I want to take his face off.
Yeah, he had like Con Air and The Rock and Face Off like back to back to back to
Ace
back.
Ventura, if we're doing just like 3 movies.
Oh yeah, Jim Carrey '94.
Yeah.
In a row, Tom Hanks went A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, That Thing You Do, Saving Private Ryan,
All right,
You've Got Mail.
That thing you
That
do.
thing
I
you do
like-
isn't good.
Just throwing that in there.
What? I
Five
like
of
that
those
thing you
movies
do.
aren't that
I
good.
like that thing you do, but
No one thinks of it as like in those.
Yeah, it's
You've
like,
Got Mail's not good.
I mean,
You've
Get
Got
outta
Mail.
here.
I mean, they were recapturing their unbridled chemistry.
But is
Okay.
it a good movie? No. So it doesn't count as being a part of a great streak.
It's not good.
Okay, I like that thing you do. Great soundtrack. The Oneaters.
It's an incredible song.
It's not good.
It's not
the song
good?
Is not
It
good.
gave us
The song
Steve
is
Zahn.
not good.
It gave us Steve Zahn.
That's
Listen, I like
on the
Steve
con
Zahn.
side, right?
If
Be
you want the
thankful for that,
greatest
huh?
comedic run in movie history, look up Steve Martin. He goes the jerk, man with two brains, dead men don't wear plaid, and I forget what
No,
follows that.
I'm sorry. We already said Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey had the best run of comedies.
No.
Oh, you know who
I
else?
just told you.
Steve Martin also.
Trumps is.
What did Jim Carrey have? He had The Mask. He had
like Dumb and
Ace
Dumber,
Ventura,
Ace Ventura,
Dumb
The
and Dumber.
Mask.
And The Mask were like
yeah.
in a year and a half.
And then like everyone
Truman
was,
Show?
I think Cable Guy has actually aged well, but Cable Guy was supposed to be the cooler.
I think
in all
Cable
of it.
Guy's a little bit of a rough watch.
I love Cable Guy. Love
I'm
it.
with you, Mike. I think it's hysterical and the least celebrated comedic star because he plays the straight man, but he's the best straight man of the generation is Matthew Broderick.
That's the best straight man of this
It's a
generation.
strong straight man. I'm trying to think of a better
Owen
one.
Wilson was a pretty good straight man.
Well, John C. Reilly, you might consider to be that, but he proves himself to be hysterical in Step Brothers and the Talladega Nights. And
John C.
otherwise, but
Reilly
at
is
the
one of
time-
the, I feel like John C. Reilly is one of the all-time great, straight man actors to comedic actor rises.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, but he maybe has the best moment in Boogie Nights, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
when he's arguing with the studio guy to get the albums back or get the recordings back. That's not an MP. That's a YP. That's not a my problem. That's a UP. YP, UP. You're losing me with your technical jargon.
All right, guys. Look, it's a Friday show. Time is running out. And you're all probably saying to yourselves, Zaslow, I got to know. A lot going on this weekend. I don't have time to do everything. Is it a big game? Or is it not a big game?
Howdy, folks. Welcome to Big Game or Not a Big Game with Jonathan Zaslow.
Big game or not a big game? Chris Cody, we will start with you. What do you have for us this weekend?
Thanks for starting with me.
Did I catch you off guard?
Just, they were both like, I'm ready to do this. But start with me. This is good. I have a poker tournament tonight that I'm playing in. $100,000 guarantee up top.
What? Really?
I mean, that's not like first place. That's the total prize pool guarantee that I will buy into, and I'm going to try to win that tournament.
All right. Questions.
So no sex tonight.
Tomorrow morning.
Questions. How many are in the money?
Unless you lose.
No, this will be a tournament of probably 200 people max.
And how many are in the money?
Like 10% generally make the money, so you got to play down to the final 20 to
All
get
right.
in the money, and then from there, the good payouts start around the final table.
You know what? That's a big game.
Big game.
Yeah, I like that. Tony?
he was an Anchorman too.
Tony, big game and not a big game. What do you got?
Zaz, big game for me tomorrow. In my opinion, I want to get your opinion on it. Tomorrow, my 35th birthday. Big game, not a big game.
Wow. All right. Question here. Are you sending the baby somewhere? Like
No, baby be with us.
Okay.
Gonna
Do you
hang
own a
out, do a
coffee
little-
table?
No.
All right. Good. That's
An
a good
ottoman.
step. Christ. All right. Very good. Do you have the spot planned? Are we doing anything with friends?
Doing a family thing. Family and friends
thing.
kind of join there at the house.
Oh, okay. So not out to dinner at the house.
No, doing it at the house. Yeah.
Your house?
My house. Pool
That's
thing.
huge. Yeah, at the house. That's
People with their shoes off.
a big plus. That's a big game. At your house, that's
It's a home
plus.
game for me. Big home game.
That's that's good. Dave Damashek, big game and not a big game. What do you got?
Well, the Cubs are visiting the Buccos this weekend. Huge implications for the National League wild card chase, which the Marlins are probably now realistically out of. Saturday night, Skeens on the hump against Imanaga. Big game. Damashek and Hoover Damashek, my 12-year-old, will be at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds soccer game against Rhode Island FC. What tier of American soccer that is, I don't know, but we'll be seated by one of the three rivers enjoying a wiener and some soccer.
I am going not a big game. Nothing about that excited me. Not a big
Fair.
game.
Fair.
Mike Ryan, big game, not a big game.
Left turns, Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series. Not the Indy 500, but the very same track, the Brickyard 400. Bubba Wallace won it last year. Big game, not a big game.
Wow. Any right turns involved in this?
No, this
Only
is
left
just
turns.
a huge oval.
You know, I'm going to go big game. Yeah! I surprised you there. You didn't know I was
They
going to
kiss
go
the
with big
bricks.
game.
What else are you going to watch this weekend? Come on.
All right, and that right there is another edition. A big game and not a big game.
Thanks for asking.